Ulonga tabati yada tó yẹ kó máa da ifá. Inú tó yẹ kó jẹun lọ́ fi pa. Ọbàtálá, ọba takuntakun. Ṣàngó, Èṣù, Ògún, Ọya, Ọ̀ṣun. Ìwọ ló ń bọ̀ nílé. Kí ni ṣẹ̀ṣe tán ṣe nílé yìí o? Ó jẹ́ lọ jára rẹ̀.
Alafia, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bami, and today we are joined by none other than the mother, bringing in all the power, the juice, the ashe of the Iyami Osharanga, daughter of the Aj, without no need or further ado, Wunam, Nicky Love, peace and blessings. Alafia, how you doing? How you doing, Wunam?
Yeah, peace and blessings. Modi Busta. That means the same thing. How are you? How's everybody doing? I'm okay. Yes.
That's what's
My
up.
mouth's still burning. I just finished eating some fufu and some fish stew, and my mouth is on fire, y'all. So y'all gotta let me cool it off a little bit.
Listen, look, and while you cool it off, I'm gonna let the booth cool off because Baba Khepera PTAH came in and burned this damn thing down last night. Boy, I was like, oh my goodness, that shit, that was crazy.
He sure did, y'all. Y'all know that's my little brother right there. Khepera PTAH is my little brother, y'all.
That was crazy.
He's the one who told me about comedic stuff.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
I can't wait to. I didn't even get a chance to watch it yet. I mean, I listened to it a little bit, but I wasn't able to tap in and just like absorb it. But boy, I can't wait. Can't wait to go back and watch that one because I'm
gonna
like,
be good.
Yeah.
He taught me how to play the Ra, and Nejarak Amin Ra, and Nejarak Amin Ra. He taught me a lot about comedic stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, I see how.
Yeah.
I see how. Yeah, I definitely see how.
And when I had my shrine set up, I had a lot of different the deities, the pharaohs. I had Sekhmet, I had Akhenaten, I had all of the statues on my shrine. And when I would light them up, because they say they like frankincense in the morning and they like myrrh at night. When I would raise up that energy, it would be so powerful.
Listen.
I should send Sekhmet out to do some work.
Look, I got it right here with me, boy, because listen, I ain't playing with it. No, sir.
Yeah, you can send her when she's an ancient one, so she'll outdo the other one. Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna have to get into that. Because I'm in class again tonight. I got my notes, I got my pen. We're gonna have to get into that. That's dope. Yeah, I got her here right now with me.
Yeah, she's very powerful. People don't know. But the story was with Sekhmet. They tricked her, and if I can remember the story, y'all, what did they do? It was something with blood, and they made her angry. And it's been so long since I've read the stories, but in reference to something with blood. So when you call her, they tricked her. They gave her something they wasn't supposed to give her, and she went and slaughtered everybody. The story is a really interesting story, and I read it years ago. But when you want to destroy people who are enemies and who's doing bad stuff, you call Sekhmet and she's going after them. Yeah, very powerful.
Wow, that's deep. Now let me ask you this. Look, we didn't even do the formal introduction yet. I'm gonna ask one quick question, and we gotta go. We got to go back and pump the brakes, and then honor and salute the ancestors, and then come right back in and hit the pedal to the metal. Because we ready. So let me ask. So because I don't want to forget it. Now, who would be her like equivalent if we're talking about E5? Was she like? Is there a female deity who would be kind of like the counterpart, or like the, you know what I mean? Like
I feel like in Ifa, she would be more like a Oya.
I kind of thought that.
Right?
I thought that, yeah.
Like, Oya will come tear up some stuff. Yeah, so I see her more like a comparison to Oya. Yeah, she'll tear up some things. Yeah, because the Oya you can be used too, Oya don't play either. She's going to destroy some stuff too. I've actually used Oya as well for spiritual work. And I would send her out to tear up trios. Yeah. So yeah, she's powerful too, but she would be more like I would think more like Oya. Yeah.
I kind of figured that, but I just wanted to see before I jumped out there and wasn't 100% sure. I wanted to make sure, but I kind of figured it would be her because I got it right there behind me chilling. So yeah, I know that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's right. Okay,
Put
so
them two
look.
together, you got some powerful energy right there.
Oh yeah, look, her and KBH sitting side by side. Yeah,
See?
yeah, and then
See?
the mothers is right behind her. All of them there too.
Well, see, you got everything, huh?
Man, listen, I don't
Okay.
play, especially when it comes to the mothers. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, listen.
So
You want to go ahead and do the salute so we can get this party
yeah.
started? All
We'll
right.
call down the ancestors that ask the ancestors to rise, ancestors. As in the
Oh,
tradition, we say your leg game, your excuse me,
lagi, ya liga.
your legal ancestors rise, ancestors rise. We call upon you to rise up, ancestors. We ask that you speak through us and ask that you speak through us. I ask that you speak through us and speak through us, ancestors. I ask that you guide our visions. I ask that you guide and give us the wisdom that we seek to give to the people that are listening to the show. We ask that you, ancestors, go to their ancestors and let their ancestors guide them, ancestors. We want you to help them to get the wisdom and gain the wisdom that they need to continue their spiritual journey on this earth. Ancestors, we thank you. We continue to thank you for all the things that you do for guiding us, for downloading information in our DNA, for giving us the information we need, ancestors. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. I say, toy move.
Asheo Toyemu. Okay. I think is it I don't know is there something going on with the mic? They said the volume. I think somebody said it was hard to hear for some reason. I'm not sure. Brother Mike, I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna figure that out real quick. Peace and blessings, Mr. Rodriguez, Mike Jones, Millie, the whole tribe. Peace and
Let me
blessings,
see,
family.
hold up.
Okay, no. I think it was too far. That's all. I
It
hear
was
you
too
when you.
far?
I think that's all it was. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I heard you
Hmm.
clear just now. Let me see. Can y'all
Okay.
hear her clear, tribe? Somebody, could y'all put in the chat if you can hear Wunam clear when she was sitting there? If y'all can let me know.
What you looking at?
Yeah, I hear you clear now. Hopefully they hear you
Okay.
too. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. Oh, it said it's an echo. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can adjust that real quick. 1 second, family. Let me see. Okay, let me see.
Let me make sure this because
Okay.
I'm using.
How about now? Because I turned the echo, the little echo setting
Can you
off.
hear me?
I hear you now. All right, family. Does it sound the same, or do y'all still hear the echo, double voice? Okay. I tell you what, Wunam, if you
Can you hear
come
me
out,
now?
I do, but I think it's on something. I think it's on like the end of either YouTube or the app that we're using stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
see.
If you can come out, if you can like remove and then come back in, like go out and then come back in, maybe hopefully that'll fix it. I think that's happened
Okay.
before too. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
And I'll chill with the tribe, y'all. Hey, so we're gonna get through this, family. Like I said earlier, it's always some sort of little technical difficulties. It seem like that be coming up. Did y'all hear the echo on my end too, or is it just Wunam? So we can get this straight before we get this party started. Cause I don't wanna get into it and we ain't got the sounds right. I'd rather get it right now, so that way we can get this thing cracking. Once she comes back in, is it an echo with my volume as well? Oh, just went on. Okay, appreciate y'all, family. So yeah, she gonna come back in. Let me send her the link again just to make sure, and then we're gonna get this thing cracking. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
You hear now?
I hear you now. You sound real loud and clear. Let me see. Try. Will this sound better? Do we got it? We got it squared away, or is it still echoing? For anybody out there. Okay, Gucci. All right, let's get it. Appreciate y'all, family. Appreciate y'all bearing with us through this technical difficulty. Like I said, it seems like it's always something trying to slow down the Ashe, but it ain't gonna do it. We're gonna run over. Boy, listen. She done pulled. Okay. Look. I don't know what it is, but I want to know. Look.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see the crown. Can you turn your phone sideways? Oh yeah, that's dope. Oh my God, that's dope.
That's something I created for Sango.
I'm gonna say it like copy AC. That is dope.
Yeah.
Oh man, you selling that? What is it? Is it a picture?
Yeah, I created it. Yeah.
I need to grab me a copy of that. That's dope.
I send you a copy of it.
That is dope. I appreciate that. That is dope.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you turn your if you turn your phone sideways, will it change the screen to see the whole thing?
Let me see.
Like if you did it like this? I know sometimes I guess it depends on the phone.
Let me
I think
see.
me and Baba Tolu, we was able to get his to show the whole thing. But if not, it's all good. But that is dope.
Let me see. Hold on.
Okay. But yeah, family, if y'all was here last night, man. Oh yeah, yep, that's it right there. Yes, sir.
You see it?
Yep, that is dope. That's dope. That's dope. Yes, sir.
I send it to you when we get off.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's dope. All right, tribe. We appreciate y'all for hanging there, man, fighting through these technical difficulties and all the things that be trying to block us from sharing this our share. We ain't gonna let them stop us. We just getting started. So with that, shout out to all the tribes, all the new members, all the new subscribers, everybody who's been showing love and support of the channel, man. We definitely appreciate that. Every single one of y'all. And shout out to you, Wunam, for the love and support and making the connect for me and Baba Khepera Serious, man. Because like I said, that was a dope conversation. Like that was special. I can't wait to listen to it again because he got loose. He got real loose last night.
Yeah, he sure did. Speaking in that connection, everything.
That was crazy. I don't think they should never do that again. Like he went in like in. Yeah. Like, I was like, listen, I'm getting credit where credit is due, brother. Like you did your thing with this, bro. For real. That was nice.
Yeah. I told you, very good teacher. I've been telling him for years. You need to start teaching.
Listen, he taught last night. Look,
you
I'm
sure
gonna do my
did.
best to get his behind back in here and teach anytime you want to, too. Cause we about that life. For real. Yeah, my boy got loose last night. Got real jiggy with it. Yes, okay.
David Drum speaks.
Hey, yeah, she's showing love. I appreciate it. Welcome to the tribe, new tribe member. And then we was able to get her some clarity last night too, because it was a question she was asking me for a while that I had to do a little research. I didn't get a chance to get to the source of the information, but he came and broke that down last night. I believe he got it clear for her too. Mm-hmm. Or it was you actually. I think it was you that jumped in that sent that.
Yeah, she was asking about the
Yeah, that's right.
The Haitian spirit. Well, it's really Benin, but Benin went to Haiti, so
that's right. Right. Yeah, I should have sent it to you from the get go. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Very powerful spirit.
Yeah, look, I'm ready to talk about him, man, because we were supposed to have this one, I think for the last one, but I forgot what. I think the ancestors kind of jumped on me and said, well, you need to talk about us. I said, okay, I don't no problems, but now we're here. We want to talk about this because I'm
aliens.
into this. Yeah, I love this, and this has been something I've been fascinated with and always been into since far as I can remember as a child. I've always been interested in it and been drawn to it, and so I've always researched. I got probably 5-6 books in here now that's about extraterrestrials and all that. But with that being said, you're someone who has had experiences with them, so you have had firsthand account and firsthand experiences with them. And so with that, can you kind of share with us like the very first time that you had an experience with either a deity or entity that you would consider to be extra to this planet, that would be extraterrestrial? Can you kind of share what that first experience was?
The first experience is what I'm going to say I had with them is summoning them. Okay. One of my clients, he had asked me, can I communicate with I like to call them the cosmic family. You understand? I feel like we disrespect them when we call them aliens because we're aliens to them. So I call them our cosmic family. So I actually was able to summon the actual beings. And what was crazy is they were okay. I don't know if I told this in another show, but they were tall. There was two of them that were tall. One was short and one was like a medium height. Very beautiful, dark skin with all white hair. All their hair was white. And it's sort of like, and let me tell you what's crazy. It's sort of like, you ever see Dr. York's books when he would draw them?
Yeah.
Right? My cousin Mafusa's wife, his wife drew all those pictures. But even before I seen them, I didn't see these until after, the pictures till after. So these beings came to my visions, and I asked them, I said, there's a message that you want to give to this client, this guy that I was reading. And I said, what is it that he needs to know? So they told me to get a pen and a paper, but the thing is, they were communicating with me telepathically. They didn't open their mouths. And when I took myself there, I was standing in front of them. And they were saying, I want you to draw this symbol, this symbol. They give me 5 symbols to draw. And then I told the client, I said, I got the symbols for you. That's the message. Go decode it. He never could decode it. But I would say about 3 months later, I was watching the History Channel. 3 of them symbols were on the Sumerian tablets that they gave me to draw. Now, mind you, I had never seen the Sumerian tablets, heard about them, but never got into that deep at that time. So that was the first encounter I had with them. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was doing an ancestral reading right before I got on the show. I was outside, and we were at the grocery store. I look up, and I keep seeing it fly over the same shit fly over. They let me know, we watching you, we see you. I said, I see y'all too. So while I'm doing his ancestral reading, I kept seeing the ships. I said, yeah, that's a ship, because I can recognize them when they come out. So that's a ship, that's a ship. Sometime I'll call, they will come. Right? And this is beyond some people's comprehension, but it's real. If you call them, they're going to come. So I've had that experience of them actually coming, like almost down to the, when I would come, they would come hover and then it would take off. So I've had that experience several times. I had another experience when I seen them and they shut down my cameras. And one night, it was me and my daughter, my father, we was in a car. And I seen, and this is one that was going like this with a lot of lights around it. And we was coming home. I said, y'all see that spaceship? Everybody seen it. My daughter, my father seen it. I told my daughter, I said, get my video camera, because I used to carry my camera around. I said, turn it on. They shut it down. Yeah. So I've had several experiences with some of our cosmic family. And I also did a show years ago when I was doing radio. I did a show about the different aliens. There's a whole bunch. People know the common ones, the grays, but there was a whole bunch. I think I got the list. I'm going to pull it out. There was
I
a
got
grays.
some images too I could share.
You
too.
do?
Oh yeah, I'm about to pull up some of Doc's work.
Yeah, pull it up. Pull it up, because
I'm waiting for it to upload now.
it's very interesting. Because and not only that, another thing too, I see them walking around. I know which ones are aliens, which are human and not human. Um, and there's a lot of them that's been walking around us lately, y'all. A lot of the beings been walking around us.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not. I agree with you. I saw Jew. One of the tribe members said that alien is a matter of perception. I agree, because if you can, certain people have kind of like your gift, like you have an ability to see a lot of different things, a lot of different dimensions, whether you're talking about the ancestral realm, spiritual realm, extraterrestrial realm. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a very different, unique gift. But a lot of us who have regular gifts, we're seeing them as well. I can say regular. Everybody's gift is special. You know what I mean? But it's like everybody has different special gifts. But what he's saying, I agree with that, because I have several experiences that I personally have had, and my most profound one was the one that I didn't see the ship, I didn't see the craft, but I know it was there. Like that's deep. So like for me personally, my very first, I feel like I guess it's where you are, for the audience or anybody listening for that matter, how you would perceive this event. But I'll share it for the sake of those who I know can connect with it. I was reading, and actually it was Dr. York's work that I was reading one night. I was probably about 12 or 13. I think I was in middle school, 7th, 8th grade. No, actually, it had to be like high school, because I didn't find Dr. York's work till I think my freshman year. But anyway, so maybe 9th grade. And I was reading and studying the work. And I remember it was late, maybe 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I just got this like a telepathic text, kind of like what you said, where you was getting like messages from, you know, different beings or what have you. And it told me to go to this park that was in this school, like field, this elementary school. And so in that field, I don't know why they did it. It didn't make any sense to me, but in that field, they had this, I don't know how clear y'all can see this cover, this book cover, but this is a book cover of Dr. Blair's book, The World Within, where he talks about the inner earth. So you see how there's like a crest that goes across the top of it. So that school had in the field, it had like a little part of the grass field that was concrete. And so the concrete, if you can imagine that black space that's in between the two layers of that half circle or half moon of the globe or whatever, it was like that. And it was just random to me. It never made any sense to me. Like, why would y'all put like a piece of sidewalk into a field like that made that shape? It never made no sense to me. But anyway, it was there. And so I went to that. It told me to go to that spot. And I went to it, and when I got there, it was like crystal clear at night. Like it wasn't no bad weather, no nothing. I could see, you know, the moon, whatever. Get there, all of a sudden, the clouds just covered that whole area. Just came over, covered the area. I couldn't see nothing. Like I couldn't see anything. The moon, the stars, because there was so many clouds that was above that spot. And then next thing you know, I sat there just looking at it, like, what the fuck? And I'm just looking like, that's crazy, like how it happened. And next thing you know, it just a whole bunch of water, it just started raining out of nowhere. I'm talking about like the middle of the summer Florida not hurricane, but Florida summer thunderstorm rain, like crazy. And I hauled I ran all the way back home. But it was the craziest thing, but I didn't see it. But I'm like, boy, something was there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't care what nobody tell me, something was there. I don't know what that was, what it was about, whatever, but there was something there. And so I'll never forget that. So that was my first experience where I felt like there was some sort of contact or some sort of summons, you know what I'm saying, where I felt drawn from an extra, you know, from an outside source. A message came in, told me to go there, then that happened. So I don't know what the hell that means, but I just know it happened. so
Because
from
you know you're spiritual too.
mm-hmm.
So let me tell you another experience I had. They'll talk to you. They told me, and these are our actual cosmic family beings, that they want to bring balance back. So they showed me a 6-point star with a circle around it. And they told me, and actually that was one of my first logos I used for Wunam Spiritual Society. But what's crazy is it had to be probably about a month or two later. I believe it was in Germany where they found the crop circle that was a circle and a 6-point star. It was deep. And one of my clients, she called me, she said, Nikki, didn't you say they've told you to draw a 6-point star with the back and the balance to bring the balance back? I said, yeah, that's what they told me. She sent me the picture. She said, look what they found in Germany, the crop circle. Right? I will tell people this, and again, you know, sometimes people think you're crazy, but I don't give a goddamn.
I don't
I know
either.
what I know. I hear what I hear.
And I know what I
And they
saw, I know
give
what
me
I felt.
messages. You
Yes, sir.
felt that, right?
Yeah.
See? And people don't know when you have a connection like that, you're spiritual. You have a connection to the beings everywhere, from the sea to the cosmos.
Oh yeah.
And it's very possible for them to communicate, especially if you're spiritual. They like spiritual ones because we're going to listen.
Yeah.
So yeah, they was talking to you.
And tell the truth. Because for
Yeah.
me, like, I know it don't make sense, but that's my truth. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see it, but I know it was there. but I tell you one thing, this is a conversation, shout out my pops, we was having one night, and I was like, God damn, boy, it was so simple, but so brilliant to me. He was like, he was having a conversation with a dude who didn't believe in God. He was an atheist. And so he said God wasn't real. And so my pops was like, oh, okay. And so anyways, the dude, something happened one day, and I think he got hurt like real bad. And so when he got hurt real bad, he yelled like, oh my God, da da da. And so something else happened, like it was a chain of events that kind of unfolded really fast. But long story short, the dude ended up getting some sort of like relief or some sort of help that kind of made whatever that was that he dealt with a lot easier, you know what I'm saying? And a lot faster. Like, oh, thank God. And so my father said he looked at him and he just kind of gave him this look, because when they had the discussion about it, he argued him up and down. There was no such thing as God. So he said the way he ended the conversation, he was like, he said, have you ever felt the wind blow? and it blow by you like, a gust that you knew that wind was there. He was like, yeah. He said, have you ever seen that wind? He was like, nah. He said, okay then. So if you didn't see, you didn't see that wind, but you felt that you knew it was there. He was like, for me, I feel guys, so I know guys there. So the dude, like, yeah, whatever. But then he kind of brought it back to his attention when that situation happened. So I said all that to say, like, I know what I felt when I was at that field, and it was nuts because I didn't see anything, but I know it was there. You know what I
You know,
mean?
it was
Like,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
deep.
see, people, well, people always gonna talk, so you can't worry about what they say. There's chosen ones of us that's on this earth, and when I say chosen, I believe that we're the 144,000. I feel like the spiritual indigenous people are the 144,000. They speak up out in the Bible,
Facts.
but they got to realize that they got to use somebody as messengers.
Facts.
You see, and as a matter of fact, the last message I got from the cosmic beings was that we needed to do a week of nothing but green vegetables.
Mm.
Before that one, they told me to tell humanity that we needed to ground ourselves, that we need to take off our shoes. We walk with our shoes too much and we're not grounded, to the earth anymore. Like everybody wears shoes. So they told me to tell humanity to take off your shoes, walk on the earth barefooted, round yourself back with the earth, because they said that's why we're getting sick so much, because we're not grounded and connecting to earth anymore. So that was the one they gave us. And then they said the one with the greens, we had to do a whole week of greens, nothing but greens, spinach, collard greens, broccoli, all greens. And they said that whatever that was in the plant, excuse me, some of it was chlorophyll, was going to help us go through a transformation, right, to our next level of transformation. That came from the cosmic beings. They told me that. I'd be sitting there and I just hear them talking to me. I said, okay, okay. And if y'all want to know what they sound like, they have very deep voices. Very deep voices. Do this, do that, do this. Like, real deep voices, right? So they would actually give me messages and things that we needed to do. No, let me stop lying, because the last message I got, I think I told y'all last time, they said that women need to stop wearing skirts and letting their vaginas air out. Take off the pants. Stop letting your stuff dry, or stop closing it up, because they were saying that's where a lot of diseases come from. Not just food, but you're closing up your body. You're not allowing your body to connect with mother again. So with you not grounding yourself, your feet, you always got shoes on, right? Nobody likes to walk barefooted no more. You know what I mean? And then, people don't understand that, especially with women. Women, we birth babies.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to let your stuff air out. We always closed up with panties and everything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the last message I got for them. But before that, the last one I got was when we had to do the greens for a whole week, because whatever, I would say, the blood of the plants
Mm-hmm.
was going to help us go through our next level of transformation.
Mm.
That's the
Okay.
message they gave me.
Osion. Osion.
Yep.
Da, da, da.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, um, yeah, that's deep, and I did get the pictures set up, but before we get
Okay.
into that, there's now I do also have other stories that I could share. So I also have footage of probably like three. I think I got two crafts that I actually have footage of that I'll share later with Tribe. I probably do a specific video specifically for those experiences of my own personal accord, where I captured the craft on video footage where I'll share with y'all, and then also I got probably like maybe three more where I was able to get pictures of them. I wasn't able to get like them moving or whatever, but the main one that I had was the one I shared with y'all when I'm on the call with the Ball Lagoon. That one was
Okay.
like, it was crazy because I had like 5 minutes of that one, I think. But it was dope. But I say all that to say that I want y'all, Tribe, to get ready to buckle up your seatbelts for us to, take off into these cosmic streets out here in the universe, because I want to do some kind of like research and verifications too in the process of this live, because some of the stuff I'm gonna share you can find on the internet because it's happened, and there's data out there on it. But with that, have you ever? How many like experiences have you had where you've seen them? Where you were? Have you ever been able to like capture any of them on footage? You know?
Actually, I've never got to catch any. I was trying to look at that list I had, but I haven't got to catch any on footage. But I've actually seen them.
Right. Oh yeah.
Right?
I know you're
And
saying.
and it's crazy because they know that I know that they are who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And they will give a sign.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen the reptilians, I've seen the greys,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen there's some more, and they look like, well, the lions, right? I've seen the lions, yeah, but I've never got to catch them on footage.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm. That's deep.
Yeah, and these beings are very, very powerful too.
Oh yeah.
Yep, very powerful. And I've seen the ones who know how to shapeshift too.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be walking down the street, be human, and then they'll shapeshift into something else.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been seeing a lot of that. Not the actually shifting part, but remember I told you I've been seeing a lot of cats lately, and primarily black cats. So I'm loving that. I remember what you was telling me about that too.
Hmm.
That's deep. Now I
Yeah.
did see a reptilian in Tallahassee though a while back. In the mall
Really.
actually. Yeah, I seen that she had the eye. You know what I'm saying? And like the thing,
Hmm.
she was clearly she was a shapeshifter too. But the crazy part about it is like when she turned the corner in the store. I think I was in like I don't know if it was I don't know what store it was. It was one in like Macy's I think. And so when she turned the corner from the part of the store she was walking in, she walked and she kind of walked like this on this side of me, and I
Hmm.
seen her. Like I looked at her face, and I seen her, and she it was like in the the snake or reptilian form, like with the line in the
Hmm.
middle of it or whatever. And but she like flipped it back to I guess like a regular humanoid eye, and then she kind of turned off. And so I was
Hmm.
telling everybody, I was like, yo, that's a fucking reptilian. Like, looking, so they they didn't get a chance to catch a good glimpse. But I'm like, yo, I know
Hmm.
what I saw. You know what I'm saying? I saw that eye. Like that,
Hmm.
I know what that is. But yeah, it was crazy, man. And then like I said, I've seen a lot of different crafts. Not so many that I got footage of. I only got maybe like 4 or 5 that I actually have receipts for. But I've seen a lot of different ones though, for sure.
Every time I try to get footage, they shut down the cameras.
Mm.
Yep, shut down the camera. One time, we were all in the middle of the woods, and we was drumming, and we was chanting, and we was calling the ancestors down,
Mm.
and there was two of us who had cameras,
Mm.
and we was videotaping it. But do you know after that, because the energy was very powerful. I really felt that like there was some dwarf spirits out there.
Mm.
And it could have been some of the cosmic energy because when both of us went back to look at our cameras, for one, it wasn't on video. And for two, it shut down both of our cameras.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get footage, but I know one thing. I know they was there. I seen them. You know what I mean? They was there. I see the ships all the time, and I see the beings. I know which one. Y'all know Elon Musk is an alien.
I could tell. If you look at him, you could tell that motherfucker ain't from here. Like, yeah. No, for real.
He's an alien. Yep.
Yeah, you could tell. And shout out to Master Yasir. I gotta holler at him. I remember the last time I talked to him. It was funny. He called him Eli Musk. And he said, yeah, young people, I know what y'all gonna say. No, I don't know. I said it the way I want to say it. He said
Elon
it's
Musk.
Eli Musk.
Yeah, he's an alien.
That had me
Um,
rolling when he said that.
there's a lot of the political people that are not real people.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of
Some of them are
political people.
androids. Some of them are straight up androids, like
Yeah,
robots. Like for real, for real.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. They
crazy.
are. So there's a lot of people you think is real that's not real. I'm gonna
Right.
tell you who else. Morgan Freeman.
Mm.
He's an alien.
Mm. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Morgan Freeman.
Mm.
Oh, really? Can you bring me some garlic, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah,
That's real
yeah.
deep.
Him. Who else? It's another actor that is not human.
Mm.
So you got Morgan Freeman is another one. I can't remember. I'll
Yeah.
remember him, y'all. Don't get
Yeah,
me.
it's all
But
good.
yeah, people. But you got to record. See, people think that they're normal, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
They come from different planetary systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
while we're talking, my bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the Zulu tribe. They come from Mars for real.
Mm.
Y'all remember Crazy Mutra?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he talks about it. But I had already seen that years ago.
If y'all into this type of content, you might want to grab this right here. This is who she's talking about, Baba Credu Matois. He's definitely a forerunner in the whole extraterrestrial. He's actually someone who's been abducted before.
Yeah, but he's from the Zulu, so them Zulu, they come from Mars. You have different beings, Venus, Saturn. My planet is Saturn. People say I'm crazy. I remember, my cousins, both of my cousins, they were both Dr. Yorkians, right? So they used to be like, "You don't want to come from Saturn. That's a bad." I said, "No, my planet is Saturn. I know, because every time I would dream about it, I was on Saturn, right?" So he used to be talking junk, but people come from different planetary systems. Now, different beings that come from these different planetary systems are made up of the same chemicals or whatever you want to call it of those systems. They showed me that years ago. So some people probably, most of the conscious people probably thought about it, but think about it. Your body's made up of 75% water, your brain is 91%, your blood is 85%. This earth is 75%. So you are a water being. You go to Venus, you're made up of volcano. Those beings are made up of the, elements of their planet. People kind of laugh when I say that, but you got to think about it. It's true.
It's real.
Jupiter. Them beings are very. What I seen with the beings in Jupiter, they're like very look more spiritual. They're more lighter beings than we are.
Mm-hmm.
Which we are actually going through that transformation, becoming more lighter beings.
Right now, you have to. If you
Yeah.
don't, you're gonna be you won't be on this planet. If anybody out there can do me a favor and look up, I believe I saw something online where there's a solar flare that's expected to hit Earth tomorrow, which is some crazy ish. But
Really?
yeah, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I saw it on Big Chief's page. So that's how I know. But we've been
Colonial
talking
mass
about these things.
ejection, right?
Yeah, we've been talking because it's been going on.
See me?
Yeah, it's been going on. So I'm
Okay.
gonna see if I can find that. If anybody in trial can look it up and see if they saw anything today about some sort of solar flare
Solar flare.
that's supposed to.
When's it supposed to be hitting?
I think they said tomorrow it might mess around and be here. If that's if there's any truth to it. But I say all that to say like it's real, and we're gonna get into sharing some receipts from Doc and some other people as well because like I said, I've been studying this for as far back as I can remember. And Baba Credu Matwa is someone who was actually a contact. He was actually he got abducted. He was in abductee, and excuse me, he wrote about it in his books, and he's got a couple different books too. That's not the only one he has. But and then Dr. Blair. So shout out to the tribe who I sent that link out in the Patreon community as well as in the YouTube community and out to some people personally via text. But Tony from the Meta Center, who's Dr. York's spiritual son, he actually did a remote viewing class today. So if y'all look at the comments in the posts on the Ashe channel, I put the link to that channel. His is still up, I believe, on the Meta Center's page, and he did a dope presentation on remote viewing. And so with that, Dr. Blair, who was his teacher, was also a contactee. Dr. Blair was a contactee, and he was a very powerful, researcher and scholar on all things, metaphysics and extraterrestrials. So it's like those are the people who I learned from, and I know they got receipts for the things that they've experienced and that they've seen, and that they've been contacted and information that's been given to them, including my own personal experiences. So I know it's real. And so if anybody want to look up and confirm for me, I believe the date was July 11th, 1952, the date when the White House got a visit from Crafts. And there was about, I want to say maybe 9. I can't remember how many precisely, but they was in a very specific formation when they came over the White House, and they were there for days at a time. So that's a real thing. If anybody want to look that up and see that. But so it's real, and then also there was another huge one in Arizona, I think in 2007, 2012. If y'all look that up, you'll see where in Arizona it was like 10,000 plus people, I think, saw a craft come through just chilling, just floating above Arizona, just chilling. I mean, just chilling, just floating above, and it's undeniable, So those are just a few that I know you'll find, receipts on the internet, family, in regards to.
There's a lot in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. California
They actually, and I seen this years ago, they got a ship docked over in Arizona. And what Spirit showed me years ago is they have a station there, and they do a lot of work over there in Arizona. I see a lot of technological, like lasers, and I see all these type of new like you know material like things to create stuff in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've been over in Arizona. They docked over this, and then some of the people know, right? Some of
Mm-hmm.
them know.
Oh yeah.
Now, and there's a lot of the beans in Arizona too. There's a lot of them in Texas too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're right on the border of Mexico, Texas, and Arizona is very powerful in regards to like extraterrestrial activity because in those caverns that you see, like in the Grand Canyon, there's a lot of activity going on there, and that's why
Hmm.
in the U.S. they're so guarded, and that's why they try to block off as much as they can because they know what's in there and they know what the deal is because you have, and Dr. Blair speaks about it on a lot of his videos as well as in this book, but you have petroglyphs, you have hieroglyphs. You have
Hmm.
there's a lot of different glyphs that are around on this planet, and man, did Baba Khepera tear it up last night with the Metu Neter with the hieroglyphs. But there's also these things we call petroglyphs, and petroglyphs are the glyphs that you'll find inside the caves. Those are the ones when you
Hmm.
go into the caves, you'll start to see all this art that look, they're different styles than the Metu Neter from Kemet, but
Hmm.
you can tell that it's a very advanced being or intelligence that went into these caves and these caverns to create these glyphs. And so those are all things that lead to, the inner earth. They lead to Shambhala. They lead to Agartha. They lead to Lemuria. They lead to Atlantis. So all these things are all connected from ancient times of antiquity, that we're talking about here, including
Hmm.
like the Bible. They got pictures of UFOs in the Bible that a lot of people, I don't know if they
Yep.
caught it. So
Yep.
it's deep. It's real deep. Um,
I was just looking for something so because I remember one of the glyphs I seen on the walls in Peru. I was
mm.
gonna draw it, but I can't even find a pen. But anyway, I know what you're talking about, the petroglyphs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's deep. Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of those are gonna like some of those caves, lead to the inner earth. Like some of them are
Yeah.
entrances, to the inner earth. And there's a lot of different portals and ways to get into the inner earth, but you have to have a level of intelligence and consciousness to even be able to, what I'm saying, vibrate at the
Hmm.
level or the frequency that it would take to even be able to enter into the inner earth. And then if you also look up Lieutenant David Byrd, who flew over, I can't remember if it was the North or the South Pole, who actually flew into the inner earth, and he actually wrote about it like right before he died. I think his son or somebody like published some of his
Hmm.
writings where he shared his experience with that because the government made him sign an NDA and pretty much threatened him to never speak about it. But
Hmm.
eventually he did come out, and share what he flew into. So if y'all want to look that one up too, Lieutenant David Byrd, who flew over I think it's the South Pole. So I'm not sure which pole, but he flew into the inner earth by flying over one of the poles. So if you look at Google Maps, you'll notice you'll never see a full, 360 circumference radius of the planet. And that's because they put some sort of either block or they won't let you see the North and South Pole. There's a reason why they won't let you see that North and South Pole because they don't want the truth to come out about the inner earth. So that's why
The
you won't
truth
see.
is, the truth is that the North Pole is the South Pole, and the South Pole is the North Pole.
Yes, sir.
And not only that, we were just talking about this last night. People don't know when you think you're taking a 17-hour flight, you're really just going in circles. It don't take 17 hours to get to Africa. And they have a map called the exotic map that is very deep, and it shows you how it shows you how um different countries here were named different things. Like Atlanta used to be called Cairo, right? And then you got, I think Mississippi was Egypt. If I can remember. But if you all pull up go Google the exotic map and you'll see.
And I believe Mississippi is Brother Rod Hayes just spoke about that. I want to say it has something. It's like the House of Isis or something like that. I can't remember how he broke it down, but he broke it down when he was here. I think either Wednesday or the last one me and him did. He broke that down. The Mississippi connection to ISIS, to Assad.
Hmm.
So
But
it's deep.
go look it up. Go look up Google somebody Google the exotic map, and you'll see that Atlanta used to be, I think it's either Egypt, yeah, Egypt, I think. And
Mm,
then I think Mississippi was Cairo. But Google it right now. It'll come up the exotic map,
mm.
and you'll see. But all the things they told us, just like we don't know that every mega monument around the world, the pyramids, the ones in Peru, the ones in China, those are um those are portals to travel to every other, inner earth, or to go to, to Egypt or Kemet or to go to even Antarctica. Now, in my book, I talk about that. And I told y'all years ago, they showed me, the beings showed me that they travel through Antarctica. And they go through Antarctica and then they're able to go to all the mega monoliths around the world. And what's crazy is after that, it's like every time I see something to talk about it, it'll come out. They showed me that it was on TV. They said that there were beings that were coming through Antarctica and they found bacteria from Pluto and I think it was Saturn. So these beings were coming from Saturn and Pluto through Antarctica, traveling down under the waters into the sea, because the sea is a portal too. Yep.
Oh yeah, there's more activity that go in and out of the water than the skies, but we don't know because we can't access the level of the ocean. You know what I mean? But trust and believe. Oh, it's major activity going on, especially around like the Mexico area, Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico, the Bermuda Triangle. Like I mean, all these areas are hot spots, all of them.
There's a lot of beings in the ocean too, but the one that they showed me that's gonna come out is gonna be a huge ship. It's gonna be a giant ship that's gonna come out that sea. And that ship is gonna be so big, it's gonna blow people's mind. Because they ain't gonna never see nothing that big. Now, there's a whole bunch of cities under the sea. There's a whole bunch of, we talk about the cosmic beings, but there's a whole bunch of water beings too. And these beings, there's many different species under the sea, and there's more than 7 cities under the sea.
Wow.
Right? So if y'all remember before, certain parts of Africa like Cameroon, Cabo Verde, where we're from, all of our ancestors go back to the sea. Our ancestors didn't come from the cosmos or the land of the ancestors. Ours came from the sea.
Yes, sir.
So we got a lot of beings under the sea as well. And they come out and they know how to shapeshift too. Botanical, Jupiter Ascending was the main movie I was crazy about because they was telling you how there was some running the earth. There is some beings that run this earth. I'm sorry, let me correct that. That run America. Right? And then there's some beings that over the earth. Now, the beings that I seen that was over the earth, the same ones when I had a dream, I was sitting on top of the mountains. And it was dark, and I was looking up at the sky. It was a whole bunch of stars. And I heard the voice say again, that deep voice I told y'all that I hear when they talk to me.
Yeah.
We have shut down every nuclear plant around the world. We will not let them destroy this earth with any nuclear plants.
I sure.
Right? Now, I said, okay. So then here comes Russia on YouTube talking about their nuclear plants were shut down and they hadn't been touched in 3 years. So that was confirmation to the dream and the message they had given me in the dream.
Yeah.
You see?
That's powerful because if y'all check out Ancient Aliens and there's a couple other shows, and shout out to you. I finally got my copy, man, of the I came, I seen, I know if I get okay, boom.
Thank
you.
I
finally got my copy, man. Look, chapter 1, I'm looking at it. That's the one you're talking about. I was gonna ask you, like, what chapter is the Antarctica part in, because I didn't get a chance to get into it for real yet, but I was curious. But as soon as I opened up, I looked at it. I want to say it was the very first chapter where you were talking
They
about.
told me to do that.
Wow.
Because I was going to write about Kemet first. And
you
then
mind if I share the picture?
Yeah, you can share the first page if you want.
Okay. All right. I don't know if y'all can see that, family. Hopefully y'all can see it. But this is the first page where she's talking about Antarctica. All right, my bad. I just wanted to share. I was happy like a little kid at Christmas. I got my new book.
Yeah, but that Antarctica, they're the ones who told me that. They told me that they told me that they meet all of the beings and humanity, political leaders meet, all of them meet. And when they meet, they talk about what's going on Earth and in the sea and in the cosmos. So I wrote it in the book because they showed me how they was all at a round table, just like Black Panther. Y'all remember Black Panther? They showed how they was all, but all of them wasn't human. And these beings that they were showing me were the beings that was responsible for humanity on this earth. Yep. Botanical. Shout out to Dr. Blair. That's right. He's an ancestor now. Shout out to him and the land of the ancestors. We had a show called the Fifth Dimension Show years ago. I love Dr. Blair. Yeah, that was my buddy. We had a show called the Fifth Dimension.
You know me both. This is a big Dr. Blair house. Matter of fact, that's why I shared that link to their family. So if y'all want to check out the remote viewing class, like I said, that's you getting it. You might well say not directly from Dr. Blair, but damn near, because it's from his spiritual son Tony, who Tony's been with Dr. Blair since the first time I learned of Dr. Blair's work, and I didn't know. I had lost contact with the Meta Center after he transitioned, but somehow it came across my algorithm, and I saw Tony was still doing the work on the channel, the YouTube channel. So I was like, yo, I got to tap in. And so, man, I made it to a trip up there with him in Chicago about 2 years ago, which was dope. He broke down a ton of powerful, information about Chicago and how that, how significant Chicago is to the old world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the old world. And that's why them buildings are so huge. Like, if you ever go to Chicago and you see how big those doggone buildings are, you'll know that this is different. This is not just a regular building. Like, those buildings are huge. Oh, man, it's crazy. And it goes way back to the old world, like from the beginning. You know what I mean? So I would imagine, I can't remember all of it now, but I got a lot of video and audio research that I have. But I just know it goes back to the old world, and we never are taught about who and what built these monumental structures right there in Chicago. And don't get it twisted, Chicago is a hotbed as well for extraterrestrial activity, because you have all those Great Lakes, and just like you just said, the water. And so now, if anybody in the Midwest, y'all know what it is. Anybody in Chicago, Detroit, Illinois, any of that area, all there by them Great Lakes, it's a whole lot of things going on around there because there's so much water. There's a lot of activity. And those who are in St. Louis, that arch, that's extraterrestrial. That's not something that they built. They didn't build that arch.
I've been up in that arch.
Can you got any details or insight on that arch?
If I can remember, it was when I was in the military. Actually, my ex-husband was stationed there, so we had our little honeymoon, and we went up into the arch. If I can remember, it was the energy was very powerful in the arch. If I can remember, that was back in I'm kind of old. It was back in 1990, but 1989 actually. But we went up into the arch. It was nice experience, but the energy was very powerful.
Well, that's because it's a portal.
Okay.
That's why. That arch is a portal. And so there's a lot of stargates that's around the planet as well. Detroit has a stargate. St. Louis, the arch is a portal. Iraq has a stargate, and that's part of some of the reason why they went in there for all that foolishness when they went to Iraq. Some of it was to try to access the stargates, and then if I'm not mistaken, there's a few other things that they did while they was there too, in regards to like tampering with ancient, very, very powerful historical belongings. So I'll just leave it at that. But
I knew Iraq had one, not to cut your wisdom, but I didn't know that when you said Detroit. Yeah, I didn't know about Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit
really?
got one. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And think about this. And I'm gonna tell you, just think about this. And this is something that I've learned recently. But if you think about it, do the math on how many very, very powerful like movements began in Detroit. Whether you're talking about, the music, you know what I'm saying? Like music is the home. Motown. Motown ruled the world when they were doing their thing. And it was all right there in Detroit. Right in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So all that melanin and all that ashe and all that, power in regards to creativity and mastery of the arts and, music. And so, yeah, that's not a coincidence. But that's why. Because it's a very, very, it's a very deep, very deep spiritual, highly elevated energy in that area. And so, yeah, it's deep. And then, shout out to Botanical Garden, Dr. Blair. He does great work too, Stephen Greer. Matter of fact, he's one of the foremost people who have been documenting the ability to, like you said, to be able to summons, extraterrestrials. Like they go out on the beach and they sit there and meditate. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does like a group meditation and asking, for the crafts and the beings to reveal themselves. And he got a lot of footage of seeing actual crafts, coming through. I forgot what he calls it. It's like MA5 or M something 5. Somebody in the tribe, if y'all know what they call that exercise that they do, I appreciate it if you could share it. But excuse me, Teresa says, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Space Weather Prediction Center's forecast has a G1 rated geomagnetic storm likely commencing overnight on Saturday, May 17th through Sunday, May 18th. That's not a coincidence.
Exactly.
A G1 rated geomagnetic storm likely commencing overnight on Saturday, May 17th through May 18th. Listen, if y'all don't understand what just happened last night, like Khepera he invoked and like really brought the Ashe of the gods. I'm telling you, if you watch that interview again, I don't know how many people felt that. That's why I was laughing the way I was laughing when I was like, Wunam was like, she's like, why you laughing so much? I'm like, man, y'all don't like God is here, bro. Like this ain't no game. This is not a joke. Like this is real. Man,
yeah,
listen.
he was going in.
What? And then now you get this today, a solar flare. Literally. A solar flare, a G1 rated geomagnetic storm. That's a solar flare. That means we're about to be flooded with nothing but non-ether, very, very powerful electromagnetic energy. And when you're talking about electromagnetic energy, you're talking about the sun. And I don't know how many of us on this call know about the sun, but the sun also is a place that we can live in, we can travel to and go through the sun. The sun is like a solar, it's like a slingshot. Like we were talking about Tassetti and we were talking about the land of the bow and we were talking about bow and arrows. Well, the sun is like a slingshot that slingshots us to the deepest parts of space that's out there. So we can literally go in through the sun and then shoot across the whole other side of the universe. And it's deep. It's real deep.
The sun is my best friend, y'all. So that's why I said, Brother Khepera, we used to go outside, right? He's in Seattle, I'm here in Georgia. So we would all do the Anejadak Amin Ra, right? And we would do it. But let me tell y'all what's special about that sun. I use the sun as a pendulum. And you can use the sun as a pendulum. Now, I've been sun gazing for years. So I would go out, I would look at the sun, I'll say, hey, greet the sun. And I would say, I love you. And I'm telling you, y'all try it if you want to, but it would form a heart as to say, I love you back. But then I would ask a question. How's my day going today? It's going to be a good day. This is going to be the day like, we have a good day today, and it would jump up and down. I'm telling y'all can use the sun as a portal. A pendulum. Then I would say, well, you know what? Is this going to happen tomorrow? The sun will move back and forth. Y'all better start connecting with nature. Like I say, every time you walk outside, you walk into yourself. That sun is powerful, super powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I go out, I'll greet the sun. If I don't, and I'm going to tell y'all what's crazy, is if I forget and we go out, all of a sudden it'll get bright and burn my face. Right? I'll be like, all right, Rod, I see you. How you doing today? And then it'll follow me while we driving. Another thing too, and this is something that we do in Africa. If you ever have a really bad headache, just lay in the sun for about an hour. Your headache will go away. Sun takes away your headache. So that sun is very, very powerful. We need to start using it. I'm telling you, use it as a. You're gonna see. If you can't sun gaze, just do it slowly but surely. But close your eyes and then just see the sun through your eyelids. Okay, if you can't do it. But I used to squint my eyes at first to kind of open a little bit and get used to looking at it. Then I would just go outside and I'll just be looking at straight as day. Hi, Ra. How you doing, Ra? Am I gonna have a good day today? Yeah. All right, Ra. I love you. And then we'll throw a heart back. Telling y'all should try it.
Yeah, boy. Hey, look up Google holes in the sun, y'all. If for those who might not be 100% like willing to think outside the box and think that some of the stuff that we're saying is absolutely stone shit crazy, but it's real. The truth is so unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like like it's hard to believe the truth because it's that weird and that real. Yeah.
Well,
Like
we got to go back to say, how do you know it's not the truth? See, we was only taught these things, right? But we never taken the time to spiritually tap in. That's why a lot of times I don't get my information from man. I go within and spirit to give me information. But we got to understand. I tell people, you think I'm crazy. You crazy for not knowing. You crazy because you don't even know. You don't even know that you are made up of half of the things this earth is made up. So it's not hard for you to connect with that water. Right? I'm going to share another story with y'all. So one time we was downtown Atlanta, right, y'all? So, they got the water fountain that, rolls up water. So it was me, my daughter, and her little friend, that she was in high school with. So I went up and I stood on top of it, right? And I start saying, water, I start saying, rise, water, rise. So the water was going up. I said, go down, water, right? The water was going down. So she looked at my dad, she said, is your mother really doing that? And she said, can you do that again? So I said, okay, watch. I said, water rise, right? So it start rising up. Now, mind you, without me saying that, the water probably came about maybe about 2 inches high. But because I went and I put the energy into rising it, it rose higher. See, we have the power to manipulate the forces of nature because we are a part of nature. Nature is you and you are nature. So again, when you walk outside, you walk into yourself. So you have the power to make the wind blow. I walk outside. As a matter of fact, today it was crazy. I had a meeting with these brothers, very, very powerful brothers, and it was a very good meeting, but they were spiritual too. So while we're standing outside, we're talking, all of a sudden you see the wind and the trees blowing, blowing, blowing. It's like all of this energy coming together. And it was like the ancestors and the spirit of the wind, as I call it, was just, hey, we're validating, we're confirming that this was a good meeting. So I'm going to tell y'all, like this, start connecting with nature. Because when you connect with nature, you'll understand how you're truly a part of it and you can make things happen. It's not hard for you to talk to the sun. It's not hard for you to make that sun talk back to you. It's not hard for you to speak to the water. I get in the shower every night. Hey, spirit of the water. If I don't, this shit'll burn me. But I'm not praying, for real. So I always greet the spirit of the water when I walk into the water in the shower. Right?
That's
See,
good.
you got to know that you're truly a part of the all. Again,
Mm-hmm.
go out and share your energy with the same things that you're made of
Yes, sir.
and watch how it moves for you.
Yep. That's facts. Listen, and look, and for those, I don't know, we got a lot of new tribe members. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the channel, man. I can't thank y'all enough for the love and support because that's what we do it for. For everything we're doing now to elevate the consciousness and to empower, equip, train, you know what I mean, and like really uplift our people. Like that's what it's about. So, and I love everybody who shows the love, man. So I appreciate y'all for real. And shout out to the brother Olo Orisha Creole 504. Yeah, Admiral Bird is
Hello?
exactly who I was talking about. I appreciate you. Yeah, and he did the research for us real quick. Like he said, it was the North Pole. So shout out to him, man, because that it's real, and so and it's out here. So this is why I'm specifically naming specific things, so in real time we can show receipts. You know what I'm saying, for the ones that we have the receipts for, because some of the ones that are personal, like you and I. And I'm sure many people on the live or the replay have had their own personal experiences, so they will feel some sense of, I feel like, confirmation too, to know that they're not alone. Like, oh, I thought it was just me. Nope. Yeah, we done all had a lot of different ones. But I think something happened with Cameron. But anyway, but yeah, it's a real thing. And he passed away in 1988. Yeah, I appreciate you, brother.
Okay.
And then we got some people too that said that they found the exotic map, I believe. Let me see. Ultra
You
Instinct
did?
says
While you're looking for that,
American
let me run to
exotic
the
map.
bathroom real quick, y'all.
Go ahead. I got you.
Okay.
Yep, I got you. He said American exotic map, how the names and places around the world came from there. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to find one myself to look at it. But yeah, there's a lot of different maps too, because some of the maps, if you really, I forgot the name of the map, but there's a map that's really, really old and it goes back to antiquity as well. But that map, a lot of us don't know that the continent of Africa is actually upside down. It's not the way that it's supposed to be, though, because Africa is supposed to look like a horn, like a shark's tooth. You know what I'm saying? Like the base and the foundation of Africa is literally at the bottom, right? And then you'll see like the point of it is actually facing up. You know what I'm saying, on the original map. That's before they made this map. I forgot what they call this little map they're using now, but the map, the original map, the origin maps, the maps from back in antiquity, Africa is actually the opposite way. But I'm not sure what the reason is why they did that. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. And then Teresa, the name of her book is The Cosmic Oracle. I seen, I heard, I know. And you can grab it on Amazon. I got mine from Amazon the other day. But it's called The Cosmic Oracle. I seen, I heard, I know. So I'm looking forward to tapping into that one. I can't wait to get into it and make it do what it do. Let me see. He said recently discovered perfectly aligned holes bottom of the ocean floor, mid-Atlantic ridge. Yeah, it's a lot of discoveries happening. I'm not sure how many of y'all seen what they just dropped about the Sphinx, about how they found, I think it's like several hundred feet beneath the actual, you know, body of the Sphinx. They found that there's enough space down there that you could put all of the tallest buildings in the world down there, and it still is not even close to how much space is between the Sphinx that goes deep into the crevices of the earth. And so, you know, this stuff is deep. It's like literally peeling an onion, man, because there's so many different layers. And, you know, and the earth has like 7 different layers. So if you ever heard like that thing, seventh heaven, that's a real thing, because it's like 7 different spheres above the current atmosphere that we're living in. And as we go higher and higher, we change spheres. So just as we go above, you know what I'm saying, to change spheres, and we elevate to 7 different levels of this, you know, quote unquote heaven, you can also go into the inner earth 7 different levels into, you know, the crevices of the earth, because there's several different levels going into the inner earth as well. And so it's deep, man. Like it's really deep. And I know for some of y'all it might sound crazy as hell, and for some of y'all be like, yeah, I knew that, or you know, I heard that, or I felt that, or I saw that. Y'all might have had dreams, visions, premonitions, like whatever, visitations, all that, because the craft that Wunam was talking about, that I think she said she had a vision. I'm not sure how she came across or how that information was given to her, but that craft that she's talking about, the most clearest, most lucid, I would say, dream experience I ever had in my life was something similar about a craft that she was like, I would imagine was similar to what she was talking about. And this craft was like the size of a city. Like, I want to say like huge, like so huge that the craft covered every bit of the sky that you could see within your radius of vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that big. And it was so big that it was like a city. Oh, I didn't know you came back. My bad. I didn't know you came back.
That's
I was talking
okay.
about the. Look, I was sitting
I
there. Look,
heard
I done
you.
got look. This is my cup of tea right here, man. Look, I go in with this.
I know. I see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen,
Finish talk about it.
yeah. So that dream was yeah, it was like what I can't remember how you said that you came across the info, but that I had a dream about something like that, and it was so big that you couldn't even see the sky because it covered that much of the sky. But it also had an escort with it. Like, it had other crafts that was pretty much like
Right.
security guards or like the Secret Service for this craft that was like
Mm-hmm.
surrounding the circumference of this massive ass craft, right? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
something that big. What do you need protection for? But because I feel like those beings who inhabited that craft and who was controlling that craft and who and what they are in that craft, you ain't playing with them kind of beings, and you don't
We
stand
sure
a
ain't.
chance, like
I
at
actually had
all.
the vision. They showed me that it was going to come out the ocean, just like they showed me they was going to have earthquakes in California.
Mm.
They will have a major one. They showed me in New York. I remember they was joking me in New York. Sonetta and the brothers was joking me and talking about, Nicky Love, you said there was going to be an earthquake in New York, and a week later they had an earthquake in New York. So, they showed me a lot of things, but they showed me this huge ship coming out that sea, and it's going to be huge, y'all. And it's going to be so huge, you're not going to expect something that large to come out the sea. But it's coming out. It's sort of, that's going to be the mother's ship, the mothership, okay? That's what I seen.
Mm.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Very powerful, too.
well, yeah. I mean, you can't stop God, bro. Like I said, like it's amazing. It's beautiful to me to like just be on the front lines, man, doing the work, standing up for truth, because this is what it's all about. It's really about truth.
Yeah.
Just telling the goddamn truth.
Tell the
Like,
truth.
it sounds simple, and it is simple, but not to most. But goddamn, I promise you, the realest thing or the best thing I ever could have learned in life is how to tell the damn truth. Because
Truth,
boy, when I tell
exactly.
you, when I learned that, it saved me from a whole lot of other bullshit. Like, for real. Like, getting in trouble, getting my ass whooped at home, all that, because I learned that it's easier just to tell the truth. And even when it comes to spiritually, like the times that I wasn't obedient, I took spiritual ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? There's been a couple times I took a few of them, but I learned very early in the game. Okay, I ain't trying to take too many more of these. So I had to learn how to figure it out and be obedient and tell the truth. But excuse me, but yeah, it's real. And that crap, I mean, that dream that I had, it was dope because just this year or last year, I saw a documentary, and God, I wish I would have saved the name of it, but a documentary where it was a lady, a European lady, and I think she
Hmm.
was like a seer or a medium or a psych. I can't remember, but she had gifts too. And she said she saw like what I just described in my dream, she saw that in real life. I think they lived, I can't remember what part of the world they lived in, but they lived on like farmland, like some rural area or whatever. And she said she seen a craft with a convoy of like pretty much like guardian crafts around the circumference of it, flying over her farm and the areas where she lived. And she was in this documentary and she was describing it. And when I saw it, my mouth dropped. I'm like, oh my God. I said, everything she just described that she saw in real life, I saw in my dream. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it just flipped. The roles were reversed. So for her, she saw it in real life. Like in this world, this is really not real life. This is the fake world, the temporary world. But for the sake of the conversation, she saw hers in her physical body with her physical eyes. I saw mine in my spiritual body with my spiritual eyes. But it was so clear and so powerful and so lucid that I didn't forget a damn thing when I came back into the body to wake up to live my life in the physical body. I remembered everything that happened in that spiritual dream in the spiritual body. So, and it was powerful. And it was like, yo, when I saw her talk, I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what my experience was. And it's like, from that point forward, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a point in time where they're going to come in and they're going to shut shit down. It's going to be a wrap
Yeah,
on
they're gonna
everything.
shut shit down. But you're speaking about the Sphinx, Haramaket, on top of the Sphinx, because I did some scrying into the Sphinx. In the top, when I went to scrying there and put my little eyeballs in there, y'all, I seen gold sarcophagus of all the priests and the pharaohs on the top of the Sphinx. So when you go up in the butt part of the Sphinx, you walk down, they had gold sarcophagus on this side and on this side, and there were pharaohs and priests, right? And then I went down the butt. Now, this me scrying now. I went down to the butt of the Sphinx, go underground, and it took me over to the three pyramids, the Giza pyramids. So I went down into the middle pyramid and down to the little walls and all that stuff inside the pyramid. And there was some blue water down there. And they showed me that that water connected to all of the water. And there was another passageway to Atlantis. So this is me scrying inside of the Sphinx. And I told y'all, every time they give me the visions, or if I'm scrying in there, it always comes back out on YouTube. Just like I told everybody, I said, look, y'all, I'm fixing my nose, man. Yeah. So I told everybody on YouTube, I said, okay, y'all think that the pyramids were built. Years ago, we used to say they levitated, they did this, they did that, but they showed me that used to be a stone city, and that whole city, Cairo, Egypt, was all stone. And those pyramids and the other pyramids in the Sphinx, every mega monument you see around the world was built using high-tech lasers. But they showed me that all of that city where the Sphinx was at, the pyramids, every pyramid in Egypt went underwater at one time in one age. And then they showed me that another age they came back up. That's why you see the water erosion around the Sphinx. But everybody kept saying, even my buddy Eddie Griffin, oh, they built they built the pyramids from the top bottom. I said no. I said no, they didn't. I said they carved them out with high tech lasers. Here comes YouTube again. Here comes YouTube again. Look. Oh, we found some high tech lasers in one of the temples in Egypt, and there's some really high technology. I said, I told y'all. And when I say they told me, I'm talking about the cosmic beings. Y'all know the beings in Kemet come from Jupiter. They come from the planet Jupiter. So they talk to me. And they can talk to y'all too if y'all can just hear. And they show me things. Again, people think I'm crazy, but you crazy because you don't know and you can't see. They show me a lot of things, and they show my brother things. He's spiritual too. But I'm talking about every time they would show me something or tell me something, or if I would dream about it, there would always be a confirmation to back it up. Like they let me know, yeah, we here, we talking to you. That's right, we talking to you. That's right, we coming to your dreams, we coming to your visions too. You know what I mean? So they would always give me confirmation. Now, again, the last thing I seen in that Sphinx was them gold sarcophagus. And then remember I told you they had this fake parade. Y'all could go Google it, where the pharaohs, Ramesses the second, third, they were being moved to the Cairo Museum. So I'm watching this, I'm watching this, I'm watching all these, sarcophagus come through gold, pretty beautiful. They had Nefertari, they had Ramesses the first, third, Akhenaten. I said, y'all stop playing. They were coming back. Those cosmic beings were coming back. They were in them sarcophagus, but they were not dead. They were alive. And they were coming back from the planetary system of Jupiter. And they were coming back because some things have to be changed on this planet. And they're working on it as we speak right now. Yep. Live on ley line, enter, buckle up then. And now I'm gonna share this to you with y'all. Well, young man, because y'all know I do a lot of readings. I mean, I do more readings. I'm gonna say it's about even now because we get lots of ritual work to do. But I'm gonna tell you, I had a young man call me up. He said, Nicky, he said, I had a dream that you was showing me all of the ley lines around the world. He said you had a map and you were showing me this. He's about the probably 15th person that had a dream of me showing them something spiritual or something to do with this planet. But he said I was showing him every ley line around the planet in a dream. He said it just blew his mind. But this is something that. Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
I'm listening. I'm awake.
Oh yeah,
I'm listening. Look, I'm learning too.
yeah. He said that to me, but I don't know if I told y'all the story about when I go back to New York. Did I tell you
I don't
that
know if you
story?
did. Wait, which?
Every
Oh,
time,
about the microwave and the electricity, or
how
the
how
car or
my
something like
how
that.
my powers get more heightened.
Oh yeah, in New York. Yeah. When you're walking on the sidewalks or when you're in the city.
Right,
And shout out
right.
to it was a guest on a new tribe member. Their name I think Moonlight was asking, was you from New York? I was like, she from the
Yeah,
concrete jungle.
yeah. I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm from Africa, but I grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
From Cabo Verde. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up in Brooklyn. But
Book.
what I was saying is that that comes back to what I told y'all. We are truly connected. You
Right.
understand? So it's like I'm in the South, so there's a lot of trees.
Mm-hmm.
So I stay grounded with the earth, with the water, all that. You can manipulate. Anybody can do that. But when I go back home, my energy gets more powerful. So I can touch something and it'll do this and it'll do that. Just showing you that I'm one type of alien being or cosmic being.
Very powerful one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man. So
But I'm
look.
talking about people. They need to realize you don't even know. Some of you all don't even know that you you have I'm going to say cosmic being energy,
Yes, sir. That's facts.
right? You think you human, but you're not. But what they did is they shut down that part of your DNA, so you will not remember who you were. But now what's happening is even with the coronal mass ejection, the solar flares is coming. This has something to do with the next level of transformation that you're going through.
I sure.
So it's
Yeah.
not just something that's happening. This has to happen.
Oh yeah. And look, not only does it has to happen, it's happened, it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen because,
I said
like I
that's
said,
right.
listen, we here now, and if you know new to the channel, there's the subtitle is the African Spirituality Experience, where ancient wisdom meets modern conversation. And boy, if I ain't hear no ancient wisdom last night, or shoot, every night when we on here, we hear ancient wisdom. But that comedic ancient wisdom last night was profoundly powerful. Like,
Yeah,
so like
yeah,
it was unbelievable. I cannot wait to like just chill tomorrow, just tap in, and just listen to it because it was dope. I couldn't
yeah,
do nothing but laugh because I knew what was transmitted during that transmission. I felt it like on every level, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh because I'm like, people think like this whole concept of a creator or of beings or righteousness for that matter, or light. You know what I mean? Like all the things that are right in the world or the universe or whatever you want to call it. Some people think that it's not possible. Some people think it doesn't happen. Some people think it's not real. Well, I'll be damned if you ain't gonna see how real it is right now. We're seeing it in real time, like for
That's
real,
right.
for real. But I know what I saw last night with all three eyes and whatever other eyes I got in my spirit, my egg bay, in the heaven and the skies. I saw everything, and I felt it, and it was powerful. And that's not a coincidence. The very next day, we seeing about a G1. I forgot what it's called, solar flare. That ain't nothing to play with that. Like you talking about real guys, like
Yeah.
for real, for
Yeah.
real. So yeah, that's not a coincidence. And shout out to Botanical Bro 888. He said the physicist Nassim Haramein spoke about gigantic alien vessels going in and out of the sun, deflecting solar flares from Earth. He spoke about that on a show hosted by William Shatner, and I love that show. I appreciate you, Botanical Bro. I can't remember the name of that show, but it's a dope show because they share a lot of real stuff on that show. Matter of fact, just for if one of y'all could tell me or share the name in the chat of that show with William Shatner, because it's a dope show. And they spoke about, or there's an episode about what you talked about with your vision on the mountain about them telling you about shutting all the nukes down. There's an episode, and y'all can look it up. They speak about Chernobyl, and there was a situation where they were doing something with the nukes. And when they were doing, I don't know if they were trying to do a test, I don't know what it was, maintenance, whatever, but they were doing something with the nukes. And when they went to try to do it, crafts just appeared, hovered above it. They was chilling right there, like, yeah, nigga, we see y'all. Just like they did at the White House, just chilling, like, yup, we here, we see y'all, and that shit's a wrap. Shut it down. Shut the whole system down, period. Left. Out of there, finito. Just like
Oh
that.
wow.
And what
Wow.
that and trust me, y'all can find that on that show that he's talking about from William Shatner. And it happened in Chernobyl. It's happened all over the globe, but the one that they talked about in that episode was in Chernobyl, where they shut it down. And so that's what's happening now. And it's like you can't control or defeat the creator of all that this is, all that this was, and all that this ever will be. And we're seeing that in real time now. So it's like that's why these conversations are so important. And I appreciate all y'all in the tribe that's doing the research live on air and sharing it with us so we can show receipts that we didn't even have to show, because that's exactly how real this is. United we stand, divided we fall.
I heard about that with the giants coming to the sun. I heard about that before.
Yeah, it's real.
And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, again, some things, as Dr. Blair and I used to say when we had the Fifth Dimension show, are beyond your comprehension. Not for you to understand. You're not ready. But we got to understand that all of this is real. And as all of these events take place, we are going through physical, spiritual transformation. And what they showed me is 2 strands at a time. So every year, 2 more strands are opening up, 2 more strands open up. Your junk DNA is not junk DNA. The junk DNA is the DNA is the one that's going to make you a lighter being. So you see all of the stuff in ancient Kemet where they're shape-shifting and they got, cow heads and they got this head and that head. That's what you're going to be able to do. So the DNA is being reactivated. And what's happening is, excuse me, y'all, we're being opened up to more of our DNA information. So a lot of us are vibrating on that 7th dimension already. Some of us are still down here in the 3rd dimension. But each person is going through their physical, spiritual transformation 2 strands at a time. Some are going right behind each other. Didn't y'all know that we are now in a time where there's no more time? And what I'm saying, why I'm saying is because it was just Saturday yesterday. Y'all got me?
Say, whoa,
It was just Saturday yesterday.
We're gonna slow down. We're gonna spin it. We're gonna slow down, and then we want to pause and bring it. Can you bring that back for the people in the back? Because I know I'm not the only one who wanted to hear that again.
There's no more time. It was Saturday yesterday. Time does not exist in our world no more. So don't go by time. It was just Saturday yesterday. And I'm saying it because I'm being funny, but it is. Have y'all noticed how the speed and the dimension is the time is collapsing? with each other? Are we really paying attention? Really, because time don't exist. So now you're coming into the energy of where you are becoming this more lighter being as your DNA reactivates, and you're no longer on third dimensional or fourth dimensional time. Yeah. Pay
Yep.
attention.
Yeah, listen. So you talk about divine alignment. Let me just do a little quick divine alignment and jump back off. Shout out to the God, the Baba Khepera PTAH. That's him right there, ancient wisdom keeper. Peace and blessings to you, family. We appreciate you, man. Listen,
Khepera, my
man. Listen,
brother.
yes, sir. So we was just talking about you, bro, about how you burned the doggone booth down last night. I had to bring some water repairs in here, man, to get this thing, get this thing back up, because he brought all the solar rah energy up in this thing, like
Exactly.
rah energy last night, boy. Man,
Sure did.
listen. So with that, you said we had to redo some things and like re-engineer and recalibrate and do a lot of different things. So shout out to everybody who's here. This is because I'm a nerd, so I'm gonna share the library with y'all. So family, listen, this book right here. Shout out to African Creation Energy. They got a dope series of books, and I don't know if I got all of them, but I got a good portion of the books that they're putting out. But when we talk about what we're talking about now with this whole thing with the sun, the solar flares, the energy, the entities, the deities, all these things, this book breaks it down on so many different levels. So if you want to really tap in and go way deeper with where we're going tonight, man, grab that. I know when I got it, it was probably like maybe $12, $13 on Amazon, but it's powerful though, because it's 9 ether re-engineering, and they break down a lot of the things we talking about on a whole nother level. So it's like the information's been here, and it's like now I just, like I said, I love doing this. That's why people are like, man, you doing another podcast? You goddamn right, because I love what I do. I give thanks that I get to wake up every day and just talk ish, but just talk about ish that I love. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right,
like
right.
it's a blessing, and to be able to share and get the energy exchange, with the people who love it too, man. So that's why we're here, family. So yeah, we appreciate you, brother. He burnt that thing down, bye. We appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Patar, where you at? Patar.
Listen.
Khepera, Patar.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. That's why the upper and lower Nile. This is
Oh, my
Khepera.
bad. Listen.
Alafia.
My bad. I didn't
Alafia.
mean to interrupt it. But look, we can give him as much as he want, because yeah, he did that last night. That was crazy. Okay, so my
Exactly. That's
boy,
why the upper and lower Nile are vice versa.
yes. Well, wait,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say yes. Do you know? Okay.
Yeah. That's,
That
I
makes sense.
mean,
Yeah.
okay, so think about it. Do y'all know? Let's go back to ancient Kemet. You remember they used to write it was from right to left? Everything, well, I'm gonna say everything. Some things are backwards.
Yeah, it used to be. I think I
It
know
used to
we
be
write
from
right to left. Now
we
I
write
don't
from
know.
left to right, but they wrote from right to left.
And then E5, like what E5 priests and Babalawo Yanifas, we read the Odu from right to left.
From
Like we
right to
do
left, okay.
right to left. Yeah. So like whatever Odu is on the right hand side, depending on which Odu and how it falls, it could supersede whatever's on the left hand side, because we read the Odu from right to left
From
versus from
okay.
left to right. Mm-hmm.
And that's the way we're supposed to. Just like I told you earlier, the pole is not the South Pole, the South Pole is the North Pole, the North Pole is the South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Um, so we do know that a lot of things are backwards. So, but now it's changing. You're going to start seeing it for what it is. Assaja said they flipped the map because they wanted Europe to sit on top of the world. Yeah, well, guess what? Europe ain't gonna sitting on top of nothing. They're about to collapse. But I see an earthquake coming to Europe too. They're gonna start destroying Europe slowly but surely. That's what I see spiritually. But anyway, so a lot of the things we learned is the opposite of what we know. You know what I mean? So I forgot my train of thought, y'all. Now I'm over here reading the comments.
No,
So,
nope. Listen, it's all good. I'm gonna pick up. Look, you can take a break because they did. They flipped everything, and I appreciate you, man, for sharing that insight. And that's exactly what it was. They flipped it because they wanted them to seem like they were on top of the world. And at the time, I guess, depending on your perspective, they were in their minds. You know what I mean? But my thing is, that's like to say that to me is like to say that a brand new infant. I mean, brand new infant, fresh out the oven bun comes out and can dominate a grown man who's 7'2", like Shaq, for example, 7'2", 300 and something pounds, that's fully grown, in their prime grown. Like that's what, if we're gonna look at those who control that part of the world and what they've done with their little 400, 500, 600 years or however many years they've been doing what they've been doing for that little smidgen of a time frame, that's what that would be in comparison to what we're seeing right now in real time. Like, because they are brand new newborn babies to this planet. And for them to be on top of anything, that's like a baby dominating a giant. It ain't happening. Like how you got all these doggone receipts and all these stone temples and all these pyramids, all these structures around the globe. That's all built by melanated people. So how could you think that a child, a new kind of man, is going to dominate the man or womb man? Where they do that at?
right. It ain't happening. And these new babies coming in are new beings. There's a few select that's coming in that's reincarnated beings, but the new babies coming in, these are new beings and they're powerful. And even their features are a little bit different. If you all notice the new babies coming in, their pupils are a little bit bigger. Not even a little bit bigger, a lot bigger, because I've been watching them. The new babies coming in, y'all notice they're walking quicker. They showed a 4-month-old baby standing up just the other day. But I seen this years ago. I did a song, and y'all can Google it. If you Google this song called Rainbow Child, I did a song, and I had different children in there. And some of these children are, I don't like the term rainbow children, star children, but that's common, because when you're in the European. But these beings are very, very highly spiritual beings. These are different beings coming through. They're not the same. They're very powerful. They can see 10 times better than we could ever see. They're more connected to, excuse me, not the earth, but the universes. Very powerful beings that are coming through. So when you look at these babies, they're not the same beings. Watch, look at their eyes. Pupils are bigger. They're more intelligent. These are new beings, and they're powerful. Powerful. I had my 2 twin nieces. I had them for a while. There's no word of a lie, y'all. I came back in the room, and I think Melina might have been about maybe 7 months old. So I put her in the middle of the bed, and I put a whole bunch of pillows around her. And I had a piece of paper on the bed. I walked in the room. The paper was floating up in the air like this. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. I seen it with my own eyes. The paper was floating up in the air. So I looked at her. I said, okay. Because my brother's daughter, there's 2 twins. I said, okay, I see that. I see what I got to do with you now. I'm going to have to protect you because I got to teach you the secret to the family. Right? But she was only 7 months old using her powers to make the paper float in the air. Yeah. It was not, but I just want to elaborate on the fact that these new babies coming in are no joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's facts. I see it. I mean, it's been happening though too. Like I'm talking about, it's been happening, for real. Because I know even like with mine's like 12, 13, 14 years old, like they were coming in when the iPad, like for me, I don't know what iPad model was out, but I'll never forget, I was at the barber shop and I had an iPad. I don't know what model none of that was, but I had it. And one of my sons was like young. He was like, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, I don't know, but he was young. But I remember just like sitting in the chair and he was playing with the iPad. I think I had literally downloaded like one app, one children's app on the iPad. I had just got it, so I didn't really have a whole lot of nothing on there. But man, this joker picked that thing up. He was just like doing like this with it, and he went and then boom and just started playing the game. And the barber stopped. He stopped cutting my hair. He stopped. He looked at me, and I looked back at him like, I don't know, like, I'm just as blowed as you are, like, because it was like I had just got it. And this Joker took that thing and picked it up like he been had this thing like boop, 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 and started playing it. The barber stopped. He cut the clippers off. He looked at me. I looked back at him the same way, like, bro, I don't know either. Like, I don't know how the hell he did that. Because he was so young. And we both just looked at each other like, yo, that's crazy. And so it's just like, and I've seen it so many times. I got my little nephew like 9. And it's like, I promise you on everything I love, and this is no disrespect to nobody I know, but if I could trade the level of composure and like authenticity and like empathy and sincerity with him, I would trade it in a second, because I've never seen a person I've ever met a day in my life that could tell you what it is, but say it in a way that's so as a matter of fact, regardless of if he told you, I don't like your outfit right now. Like, he would say it in a way that he wasn't confrontational and he wasn't like disrespectful, but he spoke his truth. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? But you have to respect it, even if you don't agree with it or like it, because it wasn't nothing that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it wasn't nothing that like disrespected you. But even if he's telling you like something that might offend you, he said it in a way that it was so as a matter of fact and just so like a chess master composed. I was like, yo, I would trade anything for that. I promise you, I would trade anything for that, because I've never met another person who could tell you the truth no matter how good or bad, but say it and deliver it in a way that you have to respect it. Even if you don't like it, you got to respect it, because there was nothing that was done that was, you know what I'm saying, that was a violation. And I've never seen that before. So it's like, I know this is real, what you're saying, because I've seen it in my own eyes with my own, in my own life. So it's like, it's real. It's for real, for
Yeah, they
real.
gotta start paying attention to the babies.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I like to get into their minds, but these new babies coming in. I'm gonna say from my grandson's 16. He's very spiritual. He told me he went to school. He said, Nana. He said, he said, I cursed this person. And guess what? I said she should bang her toe. Something she said, and she banged her toe. I said, oh shit. I said, what did I tell? I should have told you them secrets, because now you know. Right? I said, what'd you do? So he'll come back home and tell me, yeah, she got smart with her mouth and then she bit her tongue. I said, don't do that. I said, don't do that. I said, oh, you ain't supposed to use it for that. Right? So he said, but it's crazy because he's the next generation of traditional healers in the family. So I'm the 5th. My daughters know how to do spiritual. They know about spiritual. They got, gods and all. But he's going to take it next. Like, he's the generation that's going to take it to the next level. He's he already presents superhero powers to me. Like, this boy is, first of all, he's super smart. Second of all, he's super fast. Right? So I already seen the energy that he had. And I said, okay, you running like a damn Superman or something, right? Very, very spiritual on top of um I don't know, he's extra athletic. You know what I mean?
Cerebral. They're very
Yeah,
cerebral. Like, if you
yeah.
think about that character in X-Men, the teacher, the leader, I can't remember his name. Was it Cerebral? It might have been Cerebral, something like that. But anyway, the one in the wheelchair who was very, very,
Oh
very
yeah.
intelligent. And I look at him like you, like he had the mind to like summons the mutants, like, and to bring them all
Yeah.
together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look,
Yeah.
Wunam be doing that too, y'all. For real, for
But
real.
I'm like you, I
For
love
real.
doing what I do. I love
I
summoning because
know.
I want to know.
I
That's
know.
why that book is named that. The book is like, I seen, I heard, and I
Listen.
know.
Listen,
Right?
and
That's why I named it.
check out the alignment and the synchronicities with that. Now, shout out to Teresa. She said, Asante Sanaa for sharing the cover and name of the Wunam's book. Getting ready to order that right now. Let me find
Thank
out.
you,
That's what I'm
Teresa.
talking about.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's synchronicity,
Yeah.
man. Listen.
Yeah.
And that's paying it forward too, like, and that's one thing I take pride in doing, is like showing love and support to those who come and take their time, like you and everybody else that takes their time out of their time to come and pour in, man, because y'all do this for the love. Y'all do it for free for the love. And it's like, I'm forever grateful, because I know how much that means, not just to myself, but to everybody else who's listening too. And so
Yeah.
that's what it's about. We gotta unite. We got to build together. We got to work together, and we got to leave
That's
the
right.
bullshit, crab in the barrel, and all the negativity, looking down and hating and all that. Fuck that. Ain't nobody outshining the sun. I don't care who you are. You're
That's
not
right.
outshining the sun.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
And we
Well,
all
you
can
know,
shine under that sun.
what's crazy is that people are still learning. Who used to say that? Was it Delbert Blair or Nearly Fuller? One of them, because I had both of them on my show. But they used to say, "I'm still learning." No, it was Nearly Fuller. You know, Nearly Fuller was the teacher of Francis Cress Welsing. Francis Cress Welsing wrote the ISIS Papers.
Oh, I got both their
So
books right here.
you do. I used to Nearly Fuller sent me a whole bunch of books I was selling for him, but he always used to say, "I'm still learning." So people are still learning. People are still in that dimension down here. Your show is needed. You understand? You got people on here like coming in new that don't even know much about Kemet. They don't even know Egypt was called Kemet. So shows like this are necessary. People like us are necessary to continue to teach the people because so many people are vibrating on different, dimensions at different times. But the information still has to be taught to that dimension down there. We cannot teach
Yeah.
every day, every second, every minute, every hour. Somebody is coming into their consciousness, and
Yeah.
they still have to be. It still has to be fed. So it's needed. Trust me, you are doing what the ancestors want you to do, right? You are giving them African spiritual experiences. Ashe. You don't notice that? ASE, Ashe, African, right? Spiritual experiences is Ashe, which is put into play by the ancestors. He has to do this. He ain't got no choice. He got to do this. He got to bring everybody on so y'all can learn, because there's people that's still learning. And as we teach, we still learning too. Don't get it confused. My brother kept far last night, boy. He tore it up, and you know what? I'm still learning from him. Now I may be African, I may be spiritual, but he taught me something, and he's younger than me. So I
Yeah.
ain't afraid to say you still learn. We still learn. We still learn. We will leave this earth not knowing everything we need to know.
Mm, that part. I say. Listen, and that's so real too, because that's one thing about me. I can't remember which book. One of the books I wrote, I remember writing a quote, and I don't know if I learned it or it came to me from spirit, whatever. But I give thanks to whoever the creator was, whether it's me or anybody else. But it was the quote was along the lines of, you're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach." And I
That's
remember,
right. I say.
speaking about that because it's real. And speaking of teaching, that's why the ancestors are behind me, because I know they got my back. Shout out to the
Mm-hmm.
Honorable El Haj Malik El Shabazz. We doing a real big ancestral reverence for him on his birthday Monday at 10 o'clock. We're gonna be pouring intellectual libations for the ancestors, man, and we're
Oh,
gonna shout out.
hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Are you talking about my Malcolm X?
I am talking about, yes, I
Are
am.
you
That's
talking about
my
my
mouth.
twin soul? Because my birthday is Monday too, so we gonna be pouring
Oh,
libations together. That's right.
oh.
Sure. Every year on Facebook, I put my picture up and I put his picture up. You doggone right. That's my twin soul right there. Yeah. You ain't know, huh?
I didn't know.
Yeah. Every year I put up on Facebook, I put like me and my twin soul, happy birthday,
That makes a
my
lot of
elder.
sense. Everything is lining up. That makes perfect sense, for real too. Because you can't do nothing
Really?
without the mothers. No, think about it. You can't do anything without the mothers, right? So, for example, just now you was talking about reading from right to left. That's
Mm-hmm.
Ifa. And for those
Right.
who are on the channel who are in the tradition, I know Baba Khepera PTAH, and I'm sure there's other Babas and Iyas on the on the live or watching it, etc. But we know those who learn or know Ifa, we read right to left. So,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Metu Nature, and oh man, I hope Baba's still on the chat. But if he's still on the chat, if I'm not mistaken, the Metu Nature might read right to left too, if I'm not mistaken, or the
I think I
hieroglyphs.
heard that before. I think
I
so.
think the hieroglyphs read,
Yeah,
and it
you're
would
supposed
make
to read it
perfect
from
sense to
right to
me.
left.
Yeah, because Tahuti and Orunmila are very eerily similar in regards to who and
Mm-hmm.
what they are to the tradition that they come from. As
Mm-hmm.
Tahuti is described in ancient Kemet, is Orunmila is the prophet of Ifa and, you know what I'm saying, Isheshe.
Right.
You know, they're both responsible for delivering the messages from the highest levels to those, you know what I'm saying, of us who need to hear. So that's deep.
Yeah, I think so. That's deep, yeah. But
That's
no,
real deep.
we share the same. Excuse me, y'all. Don't mind me. I'm okay. I'm just a little bit sleepy, but I'm okay. But we share the same energy. I did a summons on him, Marcus Garvey, and Brother Khepera, you in here? Do you remember that lady you asked me to do a summons on the show? Because
I'm
when I
looking
used to do
for
the
him.
radio show, we summoned Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and it was a woman. I think, if I can remember, Brother Khepera told me to do her, and I was summoning and summon. Let me get it right, y'all. Summoning the spirits, and it was talking through me, and it was deep. And I remember Marcus Garvey had a really good message. Malcolm was coming through. He was speaking really well as well. He had given me some information to give to the people. I gotta do that again, y'all. I haven't done that in a while.
Listen,
Yep, yep.
listen. I don't know what you got going on Monday, but listen. If it's,
We can
I don't
summon
want to do. I don't
some of
want
these
to do it on the
spirits.
air. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to do it on the air, but listen, we ain't supposed to start the tribute till 10, so I got all day Monday. Well, I can say not all day, but man, let me take that back. I can make some time. I just put it that way. I forgot I got my Young Kings Monday, but anyway, I still could make some time to summon some folks or something. I don't know, and even if we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do it Monday,
yeah. Well, let me know, cause I haven't done it in a while. The last summons I did was um King Tut, and that's on YouTube. Y'all can find that on YouTube. And he was the one who told us that they were not called Nubians; they were called Nagas, Naga. And when I summoned him, he had messages, and he was telling me that as I was summon him. So yeah, it's time to do another one. We got to summon some more.
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you straight up, he was here last night.
Oh,
He
really?
was here last night. What? Man,
Really?
listen. Everything that happened last night, I can't wait to watch it because everything that happened last night, that's going down in history, and that has nothing to do with me. Let me just remove myself out of that because I was just a vessel. But as a vessel, I know what I saw in that vessel. I know what I saw, and so I
Mm-hmm.
know I saw some divine alignments on the highest level, or the highest scale of like
Mm-hmm.
the highest, you know what I'm saying, levels of energy, frequency, intelligence, like all that, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about astrological, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about to the
Mm-hmm.
planetary. I'm talking about as above, so below, as within, so without, like everything. Like it was dope because like what you said about like the extraterrestrial beings voices being very deep, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened last night with Khepera PTAH, it doesn't matter to me. It don't matter what the bass or the, you know what I'm saying, the
Right.
of his voice. I know what
Mm-hmm.
I felt energetically and spiritually. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful transmission I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I'm not playing because, and I done seen and heard some things. Like I had this conversation earlier tonight where at the time, I'm just gonna say it because this is about being real. At the
Mm-hmm.
time, and I don't know how people feel about this brother, and I don't feel no type of way. I'm just gonna share this story because this is my truth. But at the time before tonight, I used to say, and I meant this, the most powerful performer I've ever seen on the stage in regards to the consciousness community is Dr. Umar Johnson, period, bar none. No disrespect to nobody else, no disrespect to all the elders who I have a personal relationship with that I, you know what I'm saying, that's been on here, and I give thanks and I'm grateful for. But I'm talking about presentation. And what I mean by that, what I seen, what I heard, what I felt, right? So what I seen, what I heard, and what I felt when I seen him perform, and I think I seen him live like 2 or 3 times. And mind you, this was like a while ago, but I just got to give a man his credit. I take pride in giving people their credit, their props. So last night, what I saw, Baba Khepera PTAH took that. He took that baton from what I gave to Umar, and we're talking about just simply performance, and then he took it, and I had to give it to him. So I was talking to the Queen today, I like, yo, I had to change it. I had to change my, you know what I'm saying, what I've seen, because what I just saw last night, I ain't never seen nothing like that on no podcast I've ever watched. And it's not about, you know what I'm saying, like what the information in regards to what people have shared and how they shared it. But for me, it was like what I seen, heard, and felt, and what I know took place last night. I have never seen that before in my life. I've never seen that before. Not like that. Not like that. I ain't never
And
seen that. Like, that was different. And that's why I was
but
laughing. Like, I'm just like, yeah.
yeah. But you know what's crazy? Umar Johnson, I did 2 lectures for Umar Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Umar Johnson, I was one of the first ones to bring him on my radio show.
Mm.
Good brother and very, very intelligent.
Mm.
These people always got something to say. Don't worry about his personal life. Worry about what message he's giving you. You see? So, they get on my nerves with that right there. But you're right. We did two here in Atlanta, and gave very good messages, very intelligent, and gave a very good presentation. So you're right about that. I don't care what other people say. We can't worry about what other people say. They need to take the message and stop dealing with everything else and mind their business. But Brother Khepera, my brother, he been with me over 10 years. And I know he taught me about the Kemetic sciences. And, I'm always going to be African, although it's African too, but I'm talking about on another level. Khepera PTAH, I always been pushing that brother. I said, brother, you supposed to be teaching. He got a book he read to me called Solarization. And I've been trying to get my brother, if you listening, Khepera, yeah, I'm talking about you, get that book out. It's time. And when he read that book to me years ago, I said, you need to get that book out. Get it out. Stop playing. Right? So I know what you're talking about. And I've been with my brother Khepera for over 10 years, and I've seen this in him a long time ago. But everything happens when it's supposed to. It wasn't his time then, but it's his time now. And through your show, many will see him, and many more will see him. It is your show that he had to come through. Now, we've actually had him on one time. We did a Facebook when we had our little spiritual GC. We did a Facebook thing with him and Baba Nu. Baba Nu wrote the book God Gene Decoded. But Baba Nu, I loved him, good brother, but I already knew who Khepera was. I told him, I said, you was my little brother in a past life. So whatever reason ancestors put me in your life, it was to make sure you do what you got to do. So you're right. But it wasn't his time then. Now it's his time. And it's through your show that he's going to get that recognition even more. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, to whom much is given, much is expected. I definitely expect to see more. I'm looking forward to it, man, because he's been giving a whole lot. He gave a
Yeah, he
whole
got
lot
so
last
much
night.
more now.
I was impressed. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
I love it though, because and see, that's the thing. But it goes back to what we were talking about off air earlier. But and even now, it's like the love and just being together. You know what I'm saying? Uniting and like working together collectively. That there's so much more power with, you know what I'm saying, a united front than it is with individuals or people who have egos and people who want to be at the
Right.
front of the line or the top of the class, like all that. Like, nah, that's not how you get the chip. I'm a champion. Fuck that. I'm a champion. And no,
Look,
because I am
and
humble, but sometimes you gotta speak on what you believe in. And the only
well,
reason I
yeah,
say that is because I'm a team player. It ain't about
right,
me. I'm a champion
right.
because I'm working with people like you and like him and Smalls and
Mm-hmm.
Kaba and, you know what I'm saying, Bukasa Dada and, all these legends. That's why I can say that, because I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this
Right,
opportunity. And if I have an opportunity to give other people an opportunity, let me throw you the layup. I'm trying to be like
right,
Steph and Draymond. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
right,
I want
right,
to win. I don't have to be on the highlight. I don't have to be on the damn post-game interview. But as long as I got that ring on, though, I
right,
got that ring on, I'm good.
right. You
Because I
good,
got the
yeah.
W. That's it.
Right. That's right.
So
That's
we
right.
got to,
But
and with that.
I wanted to tell you this. Remember I told you the story about, I told you I do music, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I told you I made a song called Welcome to Venus. And remember I told you I was up at 4:00 in the morning and I had my Kemetic shrine behind me and the voice said, sing the words backwards.
Yep.
So after
I remember you
because
telling
I
me
made
that.
my own tracks, y'all. So I'm working on the
Yep.
track. I said, what? So I went over to the shrine and I said, what? They said, sing the words backwards.
Mm.
So I began to sing the words backwards. And I remember it was Welcome to Venus, Imakusunev. So I called up Khepera, and I'm telling this because Khepera was the one who told me what it meant. So I called him up. I said, Khepera, I said, they're telling me to sing the song backwards, right? I said, why are they telling me to do that? He said, say it again. He said, play it. So I played the song for him. And all the words they told me to sing backwards meant that he said, they're saying that you're the bringer of light. He was the one who told me that. Yeah. I forgot to tell you that. Because he was able to decipher the Metu Lecture, the words. So I didn't even know. And it was through my Kemetic shrine that they told me to say the words backwards, and them words meant exactly that. You are the bringer of light. All right now.
Listen.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, we got some dope comments too, man. Let me because look, I done got so riled up listening. I gotta get the shout out initially when we were talking about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Listen, family, we're giving y'all all the answers, we're giving y'all all the sauce. Like, this is what it is. Like, we learn from masters, we take the information that we learn from them, and we internalize it, and then we utilize it, and then we apply it. And so this is Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book. And then you was talking about Baba Ibatanu, the new ancestor, Dr. Neely Fuller. I don't know how many books he has, but this is my book that I got of his work, and it's powerful. Like, both of their books is powerful. So it's like, that's where, you know, all this comes from, is like studying, reading, and like just putting in the work, you know, and channeling and invoking the power of the ancestors. Like, something that you do every single time we start the show, which is channeling the power of the ancestors. So yeah, it's dope.
You know, I want to share this with y'all. I found a list, and this is the cosmic beings. And these are the different beings. I'm going to share this with y'all. The first ones are the Umamites, and they're from planet Umo, or the planet called Wolf 424. And they are the type of beings they are neutral observers. Okay. Now, these beings are human-like. They're very pale and they're thin. Okay. And what they like to do is they send scientific letters. They observe the earth without any interference, so they're not going to intervene. Okay. The next ones are called the blue avians. Okay. Now, these are higher dimensions. They come from higher dimensions, 6D or 9D. They're benevolent. They're tall. They're blue-feathered humanoid birds. And they're connected to the law of one. And they promote spiritual ascension. Okay? The next one are the tall whites beings. They say they are from Orion or the Pleiades. And they say they're neutral, they're very tall, pale, and they glow. And they're involved in secret government collaborations. And then you have the vegans. It sounds like vegans, but it's vegans. And the short is their origin is from Vega or Lyra, the system of Vega or Lyra. They're benevolent beings, and their appearance is humanoid, dark skin, and they're environmentally focused, peaceful explorers. And then we have Orion beings. They're from the origin of Orion. Now there's mixed ones. They're mixed, some light, some dark, and their appearance varies from species to species. Okay. And they're associated with duality and cosmic conflict. Okay. And then you have Yahyel. These are hybrids. They're humans and they're grays. They're benevolent. They have wide eyes, childlike, and they're the future contact race, and they're a bridge between humans and grays. Okay. Y'all want to hear the rest? Y'all want to hear the rest?
Hey, that's on you. Listen, because I look, hey, you know
All right.
me.
There's only three more. So then we have the Alpha Centaurians, and their origin is from Alpha Centauri system, planetary system. They're neutral beings, and their appearance is aquatic, amphibious, glowing beings, and they're experts in water technology and navigation. And then you have, let me see, yeah. Okay, you have the Antarcticans, okay, and their system is Antares, Scorpius, and they're benevolent beings. They're tall, radiant, golden red, and they're warriors of light and galactic protectors. Okay. And then you have, let me get it right. They call let me see, Celestians. And their origin is Cassiopeia. That's the system where they're from. They're benevolent beings, and they're made of crystalline light beings. They're crystalline light beings, teachers of cosmic law and balance. Now, years ago, I did a song y'all called Crystal City. Years ago, they showed me there's an actual planet that's made of crystals, and the beings on that planet were made of crystals. Okay, and actually, this is the same beings that I actually seen in my visions. Okay, they're teachers of cosmic law and balance. Okay, then you have, boy, I can't even see this. It's so light. You have the Ethans. Okay, now their system is from Serpo, Zeta Reticuli. Okay, they're benevolent beings. They're small gray-like beings, and they share tech with Earth. Hosted human envoys. Now, what I see with these beings, I see that they're the ones who actually share the tech with the Chinese and the Asians. That's why they're advancing their technology more than we are. Them, Russia, and Japan. So all of the Asians, they got a connection with these beings right here. Okay, and the last beings are the Yahoo, YAH, and then dash HU, and they're from inner dimensions. Okay, they're spiritual. They're light encoded and no fixed form. They don't have a form. It's just light. Wait a minute, y'all. And their messages are sound and divine frequency. Okay, their messages of sound and divine, and they're light coded. Don't fix it. Now, I was just watching the other day. Y'all seen that video on YouTube where the ball of light, they trying to say that they don't know where, they can't explain where they come from, and they're lightning balls, and they just come down and they start going crazy. That's what those beings are.
Yeah.
Those they're called Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. 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 This is dope. So listen, I know it's getting late. So, how much more time you got, Wunam? So I know how far I can go.
You can go about 30 more minutes. I'm good.
That's perfect. Okay, so let's bring up Dr. Blair's work because when we started, um, we talked about, you were saying how some of the beings looked a certain way, the artists and this and that, da da da. But I know what you were talking about when you said these beings and like the art, it meant something because of the way that you could tell that these beings were different. Like they were humanoid, but you could tell they was different. Like they had
Hmm.
something else going on. So I'm gonna share my screen with a couple of beings that Dr. Blair has, let us know about. That I'm sure that those who have been with us for a minute or those who have recently just joined us as a part of the Ashe tribe have heard maybe some of these names. But I'm gonna share some of this real quick so we can get into how some of these beings look. So right now, I want to talk about two beings. One being Inky, and for those who've seen either one of the two shows with Big Chief Rod Hayes, we talked about Inky and Enlil and the war, amongst those beings. Um, Now, this picture right here is not in color. It's not the futuristic joints, but I think the image and I think the visual is loud and clear in regards to like what it's saying. Or I'm sorry, what it's showing about how these beings look. Um, so when it comes to these two beings, are these? I'm actually, yeah, I'm gonna ask the question. Are these two of the beings that? Mm-hmm, that are these
Go
two of
ahead,
the beings? You can see it.
yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so are these two of the beings that you've seen before in regards to when you say like the art or how like there was a distinct look to some of the beings that you spoke about earlier when we started talking about my bad, I think I might have said Dr. Blair, but I meant Dr. York. When we were
Dr.
talking
York.
about Dr. York.
Though I've seen those beings before through Dr. York, but the ones I'm talking about, they had all white hair, they were dark skinned,
Mm-hmm.
all their hair was white, and they only communicate telepathically.
So you were talking about the elders.
Yeah, they look like elders.
Okay. I'm gonna pull them up and I hope I don't know if she's still on here, but I hope she is. But one of my healers was on the call earlier, and I remember doing a Reiki session, right? And during
Mm-hmm.
that Reiki session, I remember I had went into a different realm, and I never forget it. I was at this. I could tell it was a council meeting. It reminded me of what you were saying about the Galactical Council.
Mm-hmm.
So I was at this council meeting, right? But this is an astrological council meeting. Like this meeting is like the way that they would show on C-SPAN or CBS or whatever all those networks are. I ain't gonna say the names, but where they have like the BS government news and all that bullshit. But all those big major networks, right? When they show like, for example, let's just use this one because I support this message. Let's just use the meeting between Putin and Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso made headwaves and made ripples all across the world last week with that him being invited to the Russia Day or whatever, right? So when you look at the table that they sat at, where they had like Putin and they had like Ibrahim and I think sitting across from them, like all these delegates, kind of sitting around this real big table, right? And you could tell it was like a very important meeting with a lot of very important people. So in my last healing session, I remember like astral traveling, and I was in a realm where I saw this happening in like a galactical, like like a different realm, experience. And
Mm-hmm.
sitting at that table, I saw something very similar. And I didn't remember a lot about the details of it, but I do remember being there and seeing it. And at the time, I couldn't place like what that was and like who these beings were and what it meant. But in hindsight, now talking to you, I really wholeheartedly feel like it was like a meeting of the Council of the Elders, the
Mm-hmm.
cosmic elders. And I
Mm-hmm.
was blessed to be able to like be there and like witness it. I wasn't at the table, but I was
Mm-hmm.
in the room, and I
Right.
remember just seeing the table. I'm like, oh boy, boy, some real ish about to go down, boy. And I don't know if she's still on the call or not, but it was like when I got back from, like when I came back from the spiritual aspect of that trip or that travel, I remember coming back in my
Mm-hmm.
body like, yo, this was dope, and I kind of described it to the best of my abilities. But it was just like it was a phenomenal experience. But to me, I feel like what you're talking about is the elders, and like they here. Like this was
Yeah.
recent. Like within the last year, that experience happened, but it didn't make sense until tonight. But now it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Now it makes sense, right?
Now it makes sense.
They will come to your visions. Um, they got a lot more power than we do on this physical plane. But they will come. If you call them, they'll come.
Mm.
And you can't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You ain't supposed to be scared.
Mm. So, so based off of what you see spiritually, based off of what you see spiritually, where do you see like what's happening right now, like in real time? Based off of like the vision that you saw with the crab coming out of the water, all these different things that's unfolding right now. We see the fall and the collapse of the papal, the Roman Catholic Church, the whole church, all that falling. We see all these different things happening. Like, what do you see, or like, what could you, share with the tribe on the way out, being that we're about to kind of land the ship, to roll out? What do you see? Like, what is our next step? What is our next plan of action, or what should we expect, or what should we prepare for? To be able to put ourselves in a position to, be able to ascend to that higher frequency and that higher level of consciousness that you spoke about in regards to like the realm of the higher beings or experience?
You got to pay attention for one. Everybody's all caught up in their own little world. But let me tell you all something. What Spirit showed me, there's some cleaning up that's taking place, and a lot of stuff that we see going on. Trump and what's his name, Elon Musk are just puppets. And what's happening is they are forcing them to do what's right on this planet. And the Catholic Church, they're about to be gone. A lot of these political leaders, if they don't get it right, they're going to be forced to get it right. Okay. And they are actually being forced to get it right. And that's from Africa all the way to damn Japan. Okay. There's a lot of transformation that's going on because we got to remember, although we're some of us are transforming and going to higher dimensions and this fifth dimensions, everybody's going through transformation, even the species. So even the other planets, the universe is going to a transformation. So everybody got to remember this Earth has to be cleaned up. Now, all these weather catastrophes you see, tornadoes. I tell people all the time, listen very closely to what you're hearing, and you understand what they're saying. And they're telling you it's time to clean up, get it right. Even down to the way that you think, the way that you live your life, the way that you deal with fellow human beings, because it has to change. And these are coming from the cosmic energy or the cosmic beings. If you do not, now I'm going to tell you this. Another thing is coming from the water beings as well. Y'all talked about Jupiter ascending, but go watch Aquaman #2. Because there's still a war going on. There's a war going on up there, and there's a war going on in the sea. And we're caught in the middle of the war. But a lot of this is coming from political leaders, coming from some of humanity. So humanity has to get it together because they're here. The beings from the sea, the beings from the cosmos are here. And there is a war between man and the beings. Okay? These tornadoes, you think the tornadoes are really being thrown down here. Right? Them sounds that you hear, that you think is just, like there's supposedly a 4.6 earthquake here from Tennessee all the way to Georgia. That ain't no earthquake. They fighting. They fighting. And at night when you think you hear that thunder, sometimes that ain't real thunder, y'all. That's them fighting. If you all pay attention, because we so caught up in our own words, we ain't listening. I'll be laying there and they'll say, oh, we got thunderstorms coming. I hear, y'all know the game Galactica? Because that used to be my favorite game. And I still play video games, y'all. I'm going to be 55, but I still love video games. So, y'all remember that? Galactica? When you're going back and forth and you shooting it. Yeah. Listen up look up in the cosmos. You going to hear it. Right? They fighting. In the sea and on in the cosmos. And man, your political man who thinks they are so powerful, who are really powerless, is trying to fight with them, but they can't keep up. They ain't got the technology. They ain't got the high technology. But see, the only thing that makes me nervous with man is they always, well, especially America, they always starting shit. They need to mind their business. Because they're going to get us caught up in a goddamn mess. And everybody, y'all better start running to Africa. If you ain't got your passports, get them now. You better get ready to go. Because that's the other dream I had. And a lot of people I've heard had this dream. I was sitting on the rings of Saturn. And I told you I had it several times. Because, I say that's my planetary home. And it was me and my grandkids and my kids. And Earth was like about probably 100 miles away, but I could see it in the dream. And the pieces of America was falling off. Just falling. And I was pointing, I said, look, y'all, look. I said, see, that part of America's falling off. That's why we had to come back home to our planet. America, if these political leaders don't get it right, according to our beings, because there are talks and there's fighting and there's war going on right now. From the sea, the cosmic beings, they're going to start, look, y'all, they're going to start coming and they're going to start messing up America. So do get your passports. A lot of people say, well, I ain't got nowhere to go. Yes, you do. Africa said we could come back home. Get your passport, because when the war comes, it's going to be on this land. That's what I see. Now, what they originally showed me is that they were going to attack the infrastructure of the land. So I kept seeing the computers mess up. I didn't see a war, a sense where, like Civil War or World War II. I didn't see that type of war. I kept seeing like a
It's a
cyber
spiritual war. Yeah, cyber and spiritual, because they coexist. Because what's happening is the cyber is at war with trying to take over the spiritual. Because World War III is happening right now. They lost. We already won. The bastards out of here. But anywho, because World War III wasn't what they thought it would be, it was a spiritual war, and that's why what happened last night, or what's been happening on Ashe since it was born, is relevant to what's happening. And I'm not, this ain't an ego thing. I'm just the messenger. So don't come at me. You come at these people, the ancestors, because they the ones that put me here. So anywho, but what's happening is a spiritual war. And in the spiritual war, the spiritual war is just like the movie Avatar, where the spiritual beings who are connected to the land, that big magical tree, the magi, what, shout out to Professor Kaba, the magic eye of those of the Isis, of those who have the eyes to see, because we are the ones who created this, like that type of eye. That's what's happening in Avatar. The magi.
Yeah, the war. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's us. We are the spiritual beings. We are the ancients. We are the enlightened ones. We are the ones living off the land. We are the ones who are indigenous to all this is. Right? Yep. So now we have these foreigners coming from other stars, other systems, and other planets, trying to control and, take over this particular land. Just like in Avatar, where the governments came to try to take over their lands. Those governments had to go into the Matrix as a avatar. They put their essence into the avatar to go into the real world of the avatar in order to fit in with them. But they were remote control consciousnesses that was in the avatar, that was in the matrix of that fake system for them. But it was real for us, just like our existence on this planet is real for us, because we are the children of this planet. We are the children of the sun. We are the children of the creator. So the AI, the artificial intelligence, is at war with the AI of the ancestral intelligence, which they'll never fucking win, because we are the creator of the whole entire matrix program, etc., etc. And Ra told you that last night when he saw the gods here, and that's what we're seeing right now, and that's what's happening, and that's why it's Endgame, finito, out of here.
Ashe. Ashe, that's right. Now I'm gonna be like you. I'm laughing because I'm listening to God. I'm listening to God, and you are so right. And you know what's funny? But their cyber war can never conquer the spiritual war, because we got gods like Ogun, we got gods like Amadioha that can conquer and tear down their computers. They forgot. Yep, they forgot. So when they think they're going to try to come war with us with their cyber attacks and it don't matter, because actually we are supposed to, again, we are the caretakers of the land. And as us being as the caretakers of the land, we just build the infrastructure back up. We know how to live off the land. That's why we are called the indigenous ones, because we know how to survive. I told you all, when you walk outside, you walk into yourself, right? So you have the power to manipulate nature. So you have the power to make nature work for you. So, yes, y'all. They can try and win this spiritual war. They ain't won nothing. They ain't gonna win nothing. Because when it's all said and done, them AIs and then, cyber, whatever they think they're doing, is going to disappear just like that.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. Moonlax and Ogun. Yes. Amadiaho is the equivalent to Ogun in Igbo. So, hmm. He's a thunder god. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. He's the equivalent to Sango. I'm sorry. Yes,
Listen.
he is. But it don't matter. They got a whole bunch of iron gods we can call upon in different. There's over 3,000 tribes in Africa now, and every tribe got a gods. Got gods. So just know that yeah, we can call on any one of them gods because we put the power behind them. Remember that. Without us, there's no them, and without them, there's no us. So when we call upon these gods, whether we call upon the ones in Japan, in China, in India, we put the power behind it. So they're gonna work. So we could call on many, many, many gods that have the same aspect as Ogun and shut it down. So that spiritual war, they think they're gonna win, and they're not gonna win. But just know it's serious, and just know we might have to skedaddle out of here and go to Africa somewhere. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you like this. Not only is this land, if the infrastructure may be attacked, but I do see that eventually there's going to be a lot of floods. Now, remember the Great Flood? It's going to come to America. Like, I just see it in years, and I don't know if us on this line will be alive to see it. But yeah, they're going to get rid of America. America going to fall in the sea like Emmett did before it rose back up. That's what I see. I seen years ago New York was going to go underwater, and then after I predicted that earthquake they had a week later in New York, I told them that it was going to get flooded. It got flooded, but the sea level in New York, the water's rising. I seen that years ago. So America ain't got too much longer, y'all. Y'all better get your passports and get back to Africa. And that's the message I got for y'all tonight. Just pay attention to what's going on. Just know there's a spiritual war. And stay close with nature. Talk to the sun. Talk to the cosmic beings. Don't be afraid. Right? Don't be afraid. I'm sorry, y'all. This burlap is itching my arms. But anyway, yeah, don't be afraid. That's the message.
I say, I appreciate it, Wunam. And listen, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, but I appreciate all y'all
Okay.
family, the family showing love, and I appreciate y'all, and that's why I try to do my best to show love as well, because we definitely appreciate your appreciation, and we definitely
Yes, we do.
yeah, we're here now, and
Yep.
yeah, the love is it's reciprocity. So shout out to everybody who made it through
Love you
tonight.
too, Jessica.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who came through tonight, showed love, just showed up. I appreciate y'all. Y'all was riding with a double header yesterday. Came back for the mothers, for the Wunam to bring this thing on down, man. And so yeah, we're here now. We've been telling y'all, but we can show you better, we can tell you. So with that, shout out to Baba Khepera PTAH last night. Shout out to Nkosi for showing up and showing love all day, every day. Because one of the things Nkosi noticed last night, and he saw a lot of things that I saw, was about the presence of Kabiesi Shango. And Baba Khepera broke it down like in so many different levels, but I don't know how many people know the symbolism with twins, or the symbolism with seeing two things, or two things happening simultaneously. But there was two children of Shango that was on that call last night. So he was present in both realms, in both aspects of that call. And Kabiesi is a king, and he's very powerful, very powerful. And it's like Khepera broke down that Kabiesi is the Ifa aspect of the Kemetic aspect of Heru. Heru being the child of Basar, the child of, what I'm saying? So with that, when we talk about that, everybody knows Shango is a king. If you don't know, you gotta do some research, but he is a king. Before we get out of here, I just want to share one more instance of a craft that was sighted, and y'all do your research. Simple Google search will get it. But look up a craft sighting in 1987 in 1993 in Gulfport or Gulf Breeze, Florida. There was a stolen craft right there. That made an appearance, and you can see this also in a few of those documentaries. I don't know if it's ancient aliens or whatever, but it's look it up, you'll find it. But anywho, you see that craft there that happened right here in the state that I'm in Florida, in a town called Gulf Breeze. That's not a coincidence. Because crafts have been seen all over the place. This is something that's real, a little bit older. But what is kind of dope is the fact that how that craft is shaped in the form of a crown. When you talk about a crown, you're talking about Kabiesi, but you're talking about all the beings that we've been talking about tonight. If I'm not mistaken, didn't you say something about a 6-pointed star earlier? I think okay, that looked like one of those to me. If I didn't know better, a 6-pointed star on top of that crown. The symbolism of green when we talk about the essence of the Kemetic sciences and nature, especially nature, is very powerful, is very profound, because when we talk about green, we're talking about the land aspects of all that is, in regards to nature. A lot of people have seen a lot of signs and a lot of the grays and all that, and they paint them green and this and that, to wrap it up and close it out, when we talk about green and you talk about the gods from ancient Kemetic aspects and ancient Kemetic culture, family, do your research, because we're going to pick back up on this. When you Google and you research the netures and the gods and goddesses that you see on the hieroglyphic walls, you'll see that when it comes to the gods, their skin complexion was green. So right here is a picture of a book by the Honorable Dr. Malachi Z. York that's called The Melanite Children. Those Melanite children are children of the gods. In antiquity, their color and skin color was green. That's because the purest form of melanin, it is green. So we've been kind of like saturated with a little offset to the truest divine nature. So that's why we're brown, but don't get it twisted, because that brown still holds everything that matters in regards to everything that happens in our circumference or in our area that relates to the sun, as above all the way to the ground. So with that, we're gonna sign off, but as above, so below, as within,
As
so
within,
without.
so without. And let the Christians know that's exactly what it means. That's what Armageddon is.
That part.
That's Armageddon. As within, so without, the war. The Armageddon is the war within your soul. And that basically what is said is as within, so without. So there's a war going on within you and without you. But that war is what really is what we call what they call Armageddon, right? Which means the good against the bad. So you're going through a war with yourself. But there's also a war outside yourself too. Yeah. You're welcome, one G Force. Wunam love, thank you for love, for your people. You're welcome in Kosi. Okay?
I say.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Man, listen. Yeah, that's all I got, family. But real quick, I'm gonna leave one more comment. Shout out to Nkosi, my boy. Hey, he said we put the power behind the guys. Wow, that's deep. Yeah, we do. But what's
That's
even
right.
more powerful is that we don't put the power behind the gods. We
We are
put
the
the power
gods.
within the gods, because you heard it from the mother here first. We are the gods.
We are the
That's the
gods.
mother's mouth.
That's right.
The mother's mouth. I give a
Right.
damn what you think about me. You ain't gonna do nothing with them.
And what happened? We lost you.
No, I wanted to put you on the scene because
Okay. I
listen,
was gonna say, and
yeah,
we gotta understand. You know how they talk about the Illuminati. We the ones who put the power behind the 6-point star, and we are the illuminated ones. So when they talk about all that stuff, tell them no, I am the Illuminati. I am the God. Right? Y'all gotta know that you gods already. Walk with your heads held up high. I tell you, I walk in the grocery store, that's right, I'm God. I'm God.
mm.
And I'm gonna share this real funny with y'all real quick. My grandfather, he died back in 2007 or 8. And I remember he used to get mad. This is my father's side, the African and American side. And he used to tell me, how about damn sisters call me up and talk about I need to go pray in the Bible. And he would literally say it just like this, y'all. He was like, I ain't going to read no goddamn Bible. At that time, y'all, he was in like almost 90, like 87. He said, I am motherfucking God. That's what he used to say. And I would be cracking up. I said, Granddaddy. He said, that's right. He said, I am motherfucker. I said, okay then. Now you know where we get that from. He was 87 years old. And he would say it just like that. I said, okay. So just know you are God.
I say.
Right?
Listen. And what's so dope is that you said, and I believe in them numbers, you said exactly what you said about we are guys. Karima, shout out to Karima Shabazz. She put that in the chat. And then at the time, it was literally 89 people in here. You said he died in 87?
He died in 2007.
2007. Okay. Where did 87?
But he was 87.
Okay, so his
His
age was
age.
87, right? When you
Right.
said that, Karima had We Are the Guys and Goddesses, and I promise you on everything I love, there were 89 people in the chat. 87 plus 2, which me and you is 89. So you talk
Oh,
about, tell me that ain't
wow.
divine with that divine 9. And I
That's
screenshotted
crazy.
it. I like to have receipts.
Yeah.
So I screenshotted
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Confirmation.
Yes,
But
sir.
we're gonna see each other Monday because we gotta rise up my twin souls energy.
Yes, sir.
Our
Yes, sir.
birthday's Monday. I'm gonna be 55, y'all. But I feel I still feel the same though. I don't feel like yeah.
That's
Yeah, still feel the same. When you just get older, that's their thing. You still feel the same. The bones may get a little bit rusty, but take Taekwondo too, because that's what we do to keep them from getting rusty. You know what I mean?
that's deep.
So who said that? Go back. Somebody said something. I say Rahu Bhat.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
all rise,
Right.
Rahu Bhat. Rahu Bhat. Yeah, I learned that from my cousins, my
Yeah.
Fusin and what do you used to call himself?
He tapped in. He tapped in with
The
the
Nuwapi.
Nuwabians. Yeah, he tapped
Yeah,
in with
yeah.
Nuwabians. That look, that's cool for Dr. York. So we already
Yeah,
know.
that's my cousin always say that when he called me, he'd be like, Wahoo Bot. I'd be like, Wahoo
Yeah,
Bot.
I do.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, my cousin, my Fusin, my other cousin, I forgot his medic name. Yeah, yeah. You just call himself something. But anyway, y'all. You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome. But anyway, it was a good show. We
Man,
got
listen.
y'all want to ask the people, do y'all if there's certain things they want to hear,
Right.
right?
Right.
Give you some stuff to talk about. There's some things y'all want to hear. You know what? Maybe we'll do some readings next time. You know what I used to get? I'm gonna share this with you, my brother. The most readings I used to get when we used to do our spiritual speaking, our show, people would come in there to learn their spirit animals. People would be off the chain and talk, oh, what's my spirit animal? What's my spirit of them? And ancestral readings.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Listen. Look.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nkosi. Look. Baba Shabazz here, bro. Like he right here. Right there. He's right there. And he's been in there in this room every time you've ever seen an Ashe podcast. He was sitting right there. So trust me when I tell you, yeah, we here now. That's why I say that so confidently, because I know it's not me. Wunam, listen, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it's not just me. I'm just the messenger. Please leave my little ass alone so I can do my job. Because you don't want no smoke with who sent me. I promise you, you don't.
Look, I
I
see him
promise you,
sitting
you
right
don't.
behind you with his glasses on, just chilling, just listening. I see him just like this, just listening. And with his legs crossed too. So you're
and
right.
mine
He's
are
sitting
too.
right behind you. Yeah.
Yes,
Right
sir.
behind you.
Hey, what
Yeah,
they
we
say,
need to
don't
summon
shoot the
him.
messenger. Don't shoot the
That's right.
messenger. Because
Well,
this
we're gonna
messenger
celebrate
different.
on Monday though.
Yes, sir. I should.
Yeah.
I should. Nah, I love
I
it. Yeah, I'm
should.
looking forward. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be epic. It's definitely gonna be epic. It's gonna be a lot of
All
energy. We
right.
might shut the whole net down. I don't know because that's a lot of energy. I'm looking forward to it
Yeah.
though. Oh yeah.
Sure. You know what? That's okay. It's gonna be an energy. We might even give him a cupcake for his birthday and my birthday. We might get two cupcakes.
I
Shoot,
say.
I'm good. Here, one from our elder and one from me. Yep.
I say, I will.
That's right.
Yes,
The
Lord.
power of the bird spiritually. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's dope.
Yep.
All right, family. Well, listen, I definitely kidnapped the Wunam for longer than I thought we would get. So I give thanks for that, man, because we had another epic show, man. So I give thanks. Shout out to the tribe. Shout out to Baba Khepera PTAH. Shout out to Baba Seafood Oyi, came through and burned it down early Friday. Shout out to the Big
And
Chief Rod Hayes, came through and burned it down Wednesday. We ain't playing out here in these Ashe streets, man. We're not playing because, the world needs healing. The world needs information. The world needs confirmation that everything that all of y'all who feel this energy and feels this transfer is feeling is real and it's right and it's righteous and it's light. So that's what we're supposed to do. So we're here now and we're here, to vibe and unite and form like transformers, you know what I'm saying? Voltron, so we can make it do what it do. Wunam, you
that's
got
right.
anything
I
else
share.
you want to share?
I just want to say I love y'all family. Thank you for the support. And y'all share it with everybody. Share the Ashe with the people because they need it too. Don't be selfish with the information now. When y'all come on, share it with the world. Because there's so many more people that need to learn, y'all. And they're still learning, as Nearly Fuller said. And as I'm telling y'all, I'm still learning too. As I teach y'all, I'm still learning.
Mm,
And as our brother Mr. Bemi teaches y'all, he's still learning. So just
that's
share with the
right.
world. When y'all get on these shows and y'all got good information, shoot, tell your sister, your brother, your mother, your grandma, your grandpa, tell everybody and let them know. Come get this good information. Okay? On that note, I love y'all again, family, and I'll see y'all soon.
Ashe. No, I
I
appreciate it,
say.
Wunam. Yes, ma'am. And shout out to everybody who joined us again tonight, family. I appreciate y'all. Wunam, I appreciate you. Shout out to Baba
You're welcome.
Adrika, Baba Goon, Shango, my whole tribe, everybody who, in my inner circles, man. I appreciate the love, support, everything from each and every one of y'all, man. It's nothing but love. Shout out to the new tribe family members. We appreciate all y'all, man. So we'll definitely be back Monday. I'm gonna chill tomorrow, but we're gonna be back Monday to burn it all down again, man. So I look forward to it. As above, so below, as within, so without. We
I
came here in
do.
these Ashe streets to
As,
highlight the
well,
guys as they shout.
and Kosi said, can we talk about the spiritual power of the birds? So you
Oh,
want us to go? Don't get me started because we can go in about the EME.
wait a minute now. Listen,
What?
I love Nkosi. That's my big brother, man. Nkosi woke up and chose violence. He knew who was coming on here today. He said, "You know what? The hell with that." Nkosi know what he doing. I love Nkosi. He know what he doing. But listen, if you got time, I might can go get permission for some time, and we can make it do what it
Yeah,
do.
yeah, 'cause that's good to know though, because a lot of people. I'm gonna just give y'all this again before we go real quick. The power of the birds. A lot of down. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Lately, they've been out real heavy. They've been out real heavy. And when you see them birds out, you know the EME is out. And it's time for us, the indigenous ones, to make sure we give them their offerings so we could be protected. Me and my husband just did a big offering the other day to the EME. And we had 2 plates full of food to give them. But they coming out. And then when they come out like that, it's time for y'all to get ready. Because they know something is going on. So make sure you offer them so that way you can be taken care of protected. Okay, but we'll talk. We could definitely talk about getting more into the army. Yeah, learn the power of the birds spiritually. And a lot of people don't know there's many different aspects of the army. We'll share that too. Okay.
Oh man. Uh, hey, Kosi, I love you, man. Why you do that? Like he know what he's doing. He knew exactly.
I know.
He knew exactly what he was doing. I don't know why he
I
did
know.
that, man.
I know.
Yep,
But
he
I gotta
wanted to
go
get.
finish eating my African stew fish that was burning in my mouth, y'all, with some
Yeah, yeah,
fufu. It was good as hell. But I'm gonna have to
yep.
go kind of tone it down a little bit with some ketchup or something.
Yeah. We got to shut it down. But nah, that was dope, man. I appreciate it. And Kosi, man, listen,
Okay.
that he did that on purpose too. I know what he was doing. Look. He woke up
You
and
want me
chose
to go
violence.
into it, right?
Yeah, he woke up and chose violence. He said, "I want to hear about what we."
Don't worry, I got you. I got you. It's coming.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Maybe next.
All right.
Well, this next weekend we'll be moving. So after that, but we'll be free.
Listen, yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
chill this week too. Y'all gonna see the content. I'm gonna pump it out, but listen, I'm chilling too. But nah, it was real though, as always and as I
Okay.
expected. But I give thanks to you, Wunam, not just for what you do
Okay.
on air, but what you do off air, and not even what you do
Thank
for
you.
me, for what you really, truly, truly do for the whole collective community. Like people don't know the people that's on here, like how much like real work that they do outside of the internet. Like these masters and these guys and goddesses, they do this work for real, for real. This ain't just for the channel. Like this is what they do for real. And I love that. I respect it and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna say that I appreciate not just what you do for us here in Ashe, but what you do off air, that you know what I'm saying, that people
Yeah.
don't give the little flowers and all that. Not that that matters, but I'm gonna give it because it matters. Because I know what you're doing above and beyond, outside of what we do here. You know, for our people and
Yeah.
for our community, and for myself, and for those who I know, you know, that you do the work for. So we appreciate all of y'all, and we give thanks for that. And you know, united we stand,
Okay.
divided we fall, man. So
That's right.
that's what
I
it is.
shall.
I say.
All
I
right.
say.
All right, y'all. Have a good
All right,
night.
family. We'll see y'all in the next episode. We out. Peace.
All right.
Odabo.
Peace. And double.
Wadu.
ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé sàpò ìyàpọ̀ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo sí ẹni gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your.